I'm excited for it. Like, I have so much shit to do. I'm glad I go. I'm like 2 days.
Baby Vegas, man. Just from the standpoint of how long you're on your feet and
yeah,
it's SHOT Show. He's been to SHOT Show and all that shit.
It's just like that. It's just like that, just not as big as the show. You know what I mean?
What day are you guys going out though?
I'm going out Thursday.
Saturday.
Come back Saturday. What, afternoon? I think like noon. I'm coming back. I got my little brother coming in town that day. So my little niece and nephew. So I'm gonna try to come back and. But either way, dude, it's way
time, man.
It's fun. I tell you what, just because I have a few meetings, meet and greets, and then go talk. What free shit can I get? For real though.
You put in for the tags too.
Yep. Yep. I usually buy. I think last year I bought like $200-$300 with tags, and no, $500 with tags. I threw them in there, but I never win, obviously. But it's worth it. You know what I mean? Like a $20,000 dull hunt, dude, if not more.
Yeah. Put in the last couple of years, he drew a moose tag first year, and then he drew an elk tag last year.
So fucking gotta be white, bro, to win that shit. All right, you guys ready?
Yeah.
No, that ain't it.
Come on, Craig.
What the fuck's going on?
That's a good one.
How come it ain't working on my headset?
I can hear it.
Amateur hour.
Oh, it'd be nice if you fucking.
Did you hit record?
Why can't I hear that bitch? Is that it?
I can hear it. Whatever you're playing. There you go.
Oh my god, what the fuck happened to my shit?
What?
We used this yesterday.
Yeah.
Are you live, Tomas?
Yeah, we're live.
All right, let's go. Ready? Well, no fucking intro music for me today. I gotta try one more thing. Fuck.
So you can't hear that, huh?
No, I can't hear anything. I hear as long as I hear you.
Yeah.
What's up? All right. What up? What up? What up? We back. Sorry, no intro, man. I don't know what the fuck. Tomas fucked my shit up, and he's over.
No.
Get our shit right, fucking now.
You had Josh here this whole time. He's supposed to be the pro here.
You know what I mean?
Nah, don't point the fucking deflection finger at me now. Here we go.
Like we do.
Here we go.
As you all know, we do have Tomas here because none of the shit's working right now. He's running the cameras though, make us look pretty though. We got my man Jay Walk back in the house, and he brought a special buddy to
my
to
dog.
Me. And I actually got to hang out with him at Antelope Camp this year, and it's kind of funny because when you meet somebody and you have other friends that know him and you guys talk, and obviously Walker sucks you off when you're not around. It's like another, like he's such a real dude, man. Like when I met you, I was like,
you're like, Jesus, you were so wrong. What shit did you just introduce me to?
I was not. We were literally at the bar at the when we all getting in town over there at Southside in Lyman, and I was like, oh, you're fucking Cody. That's right. And we hung out and talked, and I was like, dude, why haven't we hung out before? You know what I mean? But now I got you in the show, and I'm excited. So Cody Arnold, aka One More.
Mm-hmm.
That's right. One more.
One More.
I guess that's what I go by.
Does the wife call you that?
No, she does not.
Does she like it?
No. There's a few choice words other than one more.
Oh yeah, I'm sure there's
You
other
know that.
nicknames she gives you. Yeah, I know. The old lady doesn't give me too many nicknames, but it's more like her nicknames come up with her facial expression. You know what I mean?
I do know what you mean.
You know exactly what I mean.
Exception when she calls you Luke. It's probably a bad thing.
Dude, when she says,
Lucas Gordillo.
Oh, yeah.
Damn it.
yeah, and like sometimes it's in a text when it's all capital letters.
Ooh.
Luke with question marks, question mark. I'm like, bitch, please. You better hit that shit out, Tomas. But anyway, so Cody, you come all the way from Greeley, right?
Yep. It was
Hey.
nice to be here. Glad
Yeah,
to-
man, I appreciate you coming out here. We actually could go, but snow came. I kind of canceled that one, but that was a dump too. We got buried up here. I was like,
Yeah,
dude,
we
I
got
don't
a little
know.
bit.
I don't know if you should come because your ass is gonna be sliding all over.
Everybody gets scared when it snows. You know, like Walker, he gets scared.
I mean,
I
I was,
seen- I've
my
seen it
dad,
happen.
I was trembling the whole time.
I don't
tried
get
to keep
scared.
it together.
I just like I'm like, is it really worth coming on a podcast to get in a fucking car wreck? You know,
You know what I tell people though? We Granby. We grew up in Granby. So when it snows up there, everybody's like, "Oh my gosh, it snowed 6 inches up there." Yeah, well,
Yeah.
it snows in the mountains.
Mhm.
that's true.
That's the way I look
Mhm.
at things.
Yeah. So when did you move from Granby?
Moved from Granby in 2016.
Oh, just so
Down
not
to
too long
Greeley.
ago. Yeah. And do you ever want to go back up there?
We still have a condo up there, but
Uh-huh.
I wouldn't go. I don't know if I'd go up there full time. There's too much winter.
Yeah.
8 months of winter gets a little long.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We were talking about that up here too.
Mhm.
And it's not too much winter. It's just not enough springtime, you know, and you know, it's more cold and snow here than it is nice in the summertime. But when it's nice in summertime here,
Mm.
it makes it worth it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Well, best of the best. What was it? May the 10th,
Yeah.
4 or 5 years ago, or whenever it was. We
Yeah.
go down the road 30 minutes, foot of snow, May the 10th or whatever it was. Like,
Two fan. Two.
yeah, dude, like freaking big ass dump.
And that's
Middle
what
of
really,
May.
that's what really wears you out in the wintertime because
Yeah, you're always plowing.
You think it's over. You're like, we're thawed out. You look at your phone and you're like, damn, there's snow coming on Thursday.
60
It's-
degrees
and
and
it's
it
a-
dumps a
Yeah.
foot.
or like that last year we had that what do we have? 5 feet up here.
Something like that, yeah.
I had 5 feet of fucking snow busting my plow. Wet, heavy spring, just miserable slush. And I was like, that's when I was over it. I was like, dude, I want to shoot my bow. I want to go out and I don't want to fucking, you
Not
know.
like North Platte, right?
Exactly.
How much snow y'all get up that way?
No, they get snow, but it's like the first it's there all year because it's so goddamn cold there all the time. The wind chill is fucking crazy there.
Chadron, you're quite a bit west.
I'm northwest. So I went to
Northwest,
school in
yeah.
Chadron State.
What do you mean? You're about 3 hours, huh?
3 hours northwest up by South Dakota border.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, Shattered. Yeah, it's did you go do that at?
98, 2002.
Were you was that the class of Danny Woodhead?
No, he came in 2003, I believe.
Yeah, he was a badass. He got in the Hall of Fame.
Really good
Yeah,
football
North Platte
player.
guy.
Yeah, good ass. He
Really
played with
good
mine.
football player.
He was like freshman playing varsity for us. Run the ball. Fucking stud. Nobody could tackle that little fucker.
Mhm.
Motherfucker was this big.
Little.
Legs like this.
Tough, too.
His stats said he's 5'9", and I
Yeah.
saw him in the bar
Yeah,
one
he's
day.
5'9".
Yeah, that's pretty common.
That's like when
I'm
they
5'8", barely, and he's shorter.
I'm
That's
5'7", dog.
pretty common
He's shorter than
stuff.
me.
But he's a hell of a lot bigger. Than I am.
Yeah, he's a good dude.
That's tough.
Yeah, his dad was our football coach too. One of the coaches, and Danny actually had a brother, Ben, that was older. And dude, the Woodhead boys,
Mhm.
dude, solid. His dad was so fucking cool, and like that's when you You just want to hang out with them. So then when you hung out with the kids, you understand why they're so cool too, you know. But I mean, that's all I can hope for me.
Yeah.
I want my kids to like not be embarrassing me, you know, and be like, you know, hey, yeah, come over to my house. You know, don't listen to my dad. He's annoying.
All dads are annoying.
All dads are coming over. I know.
I feel like everybody hits that age though where you're just like, God, go away, mom, go away, dad. Like you just want to freaking do your own thing because you're a grown man at 14.
Yeah.
You know, you're a grown man, so you think you can go do your own stuff.
Yeah, I don't know. How old are your kids?
Well, I got a 12-year-old, 13-year-old, and 15.
Oh, so you're in that as hit now.
So my daughter's 13, and I get a lot of that. I'm gonna go in my room for 2. I come out of there. I'll come eat breakfast at 1:00 in the afternoon.
Yeah,
That's about it.
man, I don't know.
Get prepared, Luke.
Shit ain't gonna fly at my household. Get your ass out, do goddamn chores. Goddamn it.
Snow that needs plowing out.
Believe me. Go out, clean my bar up. Goddamn. Exactly. But you know, I love it. It's fun. Like, she's not going to be 10 this spring, May, and I feel like, dude, she's
That's nuts, dude.
going fucking. You know, she tells me all the time, Dad, you're being so dramatic. What the fuck do you know about dramatic?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you're 10 years old, 9 years old. And then she was like, oh, Dad. She brings out her laptop and she's on Amazon. I need all this, Dad. Like, what is this? Accessories. Accessories? How do you know what accessories are? Like,
But guess what? You get it for.
Oh, I know, dude.
Yeah.
No.
But y'all remember back in the day, there was no quick, easy get on your phone. You remember when that old Cabela's catalog book used to come around, you sit there and flip through that thing and fold the pages over and be like, man, I want this, I want that.
And you circle it.
Yeah. All the hunting stuff. And I used to be big into paintball. I'd flip to that paintball section. I want this, I want that. Wouldn't get none of it, but you can sit there and look at it over and over.
Oh, I still do that with the fucking magazines that from Big R I get.
There it is.
Sears catalog. That was used to be my
Sears and Roebuck. Was that the name of Sears for? Sears and Roebuck.
Sears and Roebuck was original.
Yep, that was the real deal. Sears. I used to look in the lingerie section.
JC Penney.
Goodies. Y'all remember old Goodies? Duckhead.
It used to be my spanking bacon material, dog.
JC Penney lingerie section.
There it is.
I was in it, dog. Oh God, that fucking brought back memories.
I can still smell Goodies and like the music that was playing. JC elevator. I can still hear it, dog. I swear.
Remember Kmart?
Kmart, Big K turned into Big K.
Yep. Kmart's Alco. You guys have Alco?
Alco, yeah.
That must not be a southern thing.
Yellow Front.
Yep.
Alco, Shopco,
Shopco,
Nebraska.
Shopco is in Green Bay.
Yeah,
Wisconsin.
Shopco changed to what do they call that now? It's a big farm.
Menards, whatever the hell.
Baumgartners.
That's it.
That's what that changed into. Which I like that store.
Yeah, Baumgartner's cool.
It has like all kinds of hunting shit in there.
It's like a big or
it's on steroids, I think.
I've seen them, but never went in there.
Oh, they're nice, dude. They have everything. It's nice. I like it. But anyways, enough of that bullshit. So Cody, let's talk a little bit about you. You've been guided for God knows how long. How long have you been guiding for?
Probably 17 years total. I would say that last few years I didn't guide, but taking people out, giving them options.
Yeah.
I would honestly say about that.
Jeez, that's a lot of years, bro, out there in the field.
It is, but it's short, and I guess giving people opportunity to hunt now. And I've hunted with Josh quite a few times. We met 5 years ago.
2006.
How'd you guys meet?
6
6 years ago. It's 2019.
On Grindr?
For fuck's sakes. Anyway, so I'm looking for a fucking goose
I was
field.
looking for a dude.
I was swiping through on old grinder. I seen one more, and I said, I can't let this one go by. I said, I can't swipe on this one.
Motherfuckers look at each other's eyes like, oh,
So do you
what
want
did we be 6 years ago?
you want to talk about how we met or how I started guiding? Not grinder. It was not grinder.
Well,
Put your
yeah,
liner over there, buddy.
6 years ago, you guys met. Okay. Wow. How'd that happen?
Go ahead,
Okay,
buddy.
so I have a guy at work. He owns some property up in north of Wellington, some goose hunting property, about 80 acres. He talked it up, and he
You guys talking about waterfowl.
Yep.
And you wonder why I talked about grinder.
This
so he
I'm too good to hunt.
this
ducks and
guy
geese.
he comes to me and says, hey, I'd like to lease out my field. Would you help me out? And I said, yeah, I'll
Yeah.
help you out. And at first I was like, just I'll do it for free or whatever. He goes, I'll pay you to kind of execute this lease deal. So I put it on Craigslist, got a call from Josh, and he shows up to this field. And of course I was told everything from the guy at work. Oh, it's great. And these guys shoot a lot of geese. So I sold it.
He sold it.
So
He
I
sold me
it.
a goddamn. Let me tell you something. Let me take over real quick.
I want to hear the story.
I'm
about
thinking
what
this
you
field is going to be the golden triangle. All right, I'm a big waterfowl hunter. I love it all, but I really was huge into waterfowl before I met you. I was all into it. I mean, I would leave the house at 12 o'clock midnight to go up to hunt that field. All about it. And I get to the field, and there's geese now, but there's a body of water to the north, the power plant to the north there, to the northeast.
There.
And so essentially, if anybody that listens to this hunts, what I was doing was running traffic. That field was not the X. I was trying to pull birds off their flight line to land in that field, which they would do, but not fucking very much.
Yeah.
But let me tell you this, fuck how the field was. The best experience I had in that field, I'm in that fucking field in my layout line, and I hear a truck pulling up. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? I got the whole damn spread out. I got up at 12 o'clock. Here come Cody. Riding up the fence line. I'm like, what the fuck does he want? He's like, you been seeing any deer? I'm like, hell no, I ain't seen no damn deer. Got a deer tag.
Okay.
I say, hell no, I ain't seen no damn deer. And
You're
I'm like,
fucking
what
up
the
my
fuck? You know what I mean? And he drives out, and I watch him leave. And I didn't see him leave the field, but I was watching him drive down the fence. And he stops, and I just hear, I'm like, what the fuck? So I take off hauling ass over there. He's like, I dropped a pretty good buck. Let's go find a guy. The biggest dead Colorado whitetail deer I've ever seen.
Really?
Cracked him right in the field. Just a outstanding buck. Big old whitetail. Like, I've been whitetail hunting for a long. It was the biggest dead whitetail still to this day that I've seen dead on the ground. And I had never seen any deer in that field. And all of a sudden, it's quiet, and I just hear. Maybe it was two of them. Maybe it's two.
There were two.
Yeah, maybe a follow-up shot. You never know.
There were two.
But that deer I fucking walked up on, I was like, holy shit, Colorado's got some daggone whitetail. Because, I had just moved here, so I didn't know nothing about that. And, man, I saw a deer laying there. I was like, fuck.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then you were like, did we become best friends?
Pretty fucking much. Because I was like, this motherfucker mind shooting deer, he don't mind shooting ducks.
No.
This fucker. And then you start talking, and it don't take long when you talk to somebody to learn their fucking hunting acumen, right? And getting to talk to him, I was like, he fucking loves it like I do. So you know what I mean? Because it's hard to find people that do. Because you know how I get down, I fucking love it. Like, if that's all I want to do. So whenever I figured he was the same way. Yeah,
He really is.
So and I guess back to that. Back to when he leased that goose field, I was like, man, every time, every week, checking it off the whole deal. I'm like, did you shoot any geese? Every time, nope. But he wasn't pissed off.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was like, man, I gotta make this right. I like this dude. He hunts. So
Right.
we talked about elk hunting, and then I don't know if I should say the spot we went elk hunting.
you certainly don't say the unit, no.
So anyway, there's a special drawing unit. It's outside of the Colorado Parks and Wildlife draw, and it's an open space. So you apply for $10, whatever.
So you took him on that place.
Well,
It wasn't no fucking taken, but he told me about it to do it.
Okay.
last night. I said, hey, man,
Oh yeah, tell him about this.
yeah, I said the last evening, I'm like, hey, you should apply for this. It's $10. He's like, All right, whatever.
I damn near didn't do it.
He thought about it. He calls me like 2 weeks later. He goes, "You ain't gonna believe this. I drew that tag." I'm like, "What the fuck, man? I've been applying for this for like 3 years, and I haven't."
You haven't got it. See, that's me, dude. I never get shit, dude. Everybody else gets shit. I don't get dick.
I got so lucky.
So yeah, he draws this. I'm sure he's talked about it before on that elk he shot up north, and he ever since then we hunted quite a bit together, and I know he's a good hunter and in shape, and invited you a lot.
Yeah, he likes to hike
a lot. I don't know how it took so long for y'all to meet. All the daggone invites it got fucking just shit on.
Well,
Take just a big old dump on it.
I mean, here's the thing.
When you've killed it, when you got a scimitar oryx on your wall and a 105-inch coos, hunting's just kind of.
You see that cool?
When you have a New Zealand stag on the wall,
over there, you know what I'm saying? No, I know it just hasn't really worked out, but we have done some shit, and like literally, this motherfucker just, go.
That's how he is, man.
Y'all fucking like mountain goats. I'm not a mountain goat fucking guy.
But you can be.
Yes,
I'm a sloth. I'll do it.
Diesel engine.
And
it still goes.
I'll go, but it's gonna be fucking.
And
we're hunting spring bear in May then.
Hey,
we're hunting spring bear in May.
Go?
Put on your desk.
This is brand new to me though.
Oh, we caught him off guard. That's gonna be why he says we caught him off guard.
When is spring bear?
Right, we're going up there with a rifle.
When?
So it'll be May the I want to say the 15th or something or 10th or 15th it starts.
I think I'm on that fucking with Chad Mendez. That
No, it's not. It's in June or July. It's not in May. Unless y'all changed it. Y'all changed it. Gotcha. Say no more.
Yeah, they changed it in May. I'll find out this week though.
All right.
Because I don't know when it is. I mean,
this season lasts for a long time.
It does.
Yeah.
But dude, going back to that up north thing, so me and Cody go in there, and there's very specific rules about you can't hunt the weekends because of the hiker traffic and shit like that.
Mm-hmm.
So, bro, I think I had COVID. I didn't get a test or anything like that. But have you ever seen me that down bad before in the woods? You remember that? So I can walk with pretty much fucking anybody, right? And that or the scouting day, I'm dragging ass. I mean, dragging ass. And one more I can tell he could see, and I was trying my best not, I'm not trying not to show it, but it was so bad I couldn't fucking. We get to this ridge, he goes up to start glassing, and I finally make it up there, and I'm about to puke. It took all I had not to puke, and I don't remember what you said, but you were like, I got a bit. You said something. He's telling me he found a big ass bull, so I'm like, oh, okay, probably nice bull. I fucking looked through that daggone spotter. I mean, what do you figure, a 70, something like that? Probably every bit of 70. I'm talking about a ginormous bull that I may or may not ever have the chance to hunt a bull like that again.
Yeah.
Like a giant. And never turned him up, which was kind of weird. With a tag with that limited amount of pressure, I was like sold on killing this bull. I wanted this bull. But I guess it was day 3 of the hunt maybe because I was by myself. And I was staying at the guy's place that his buddy that let me hunt the field or whatever because it wasn't far from this area. Anyway, long story short, I was driving there every morning, every night, driving back, driving there. Finally, one morning, I'm laying there and I look up and I see a raghorn coming across the top of the hill. And I'm like, sweet, he's not by himself. 11 more bulls come out. And finally, the one I shoot comes out and I'm like, oh my God. He ain't that huge one, but he is big. Long story short, I've told the story on here before, but I ended up killing that bull. And it wasn't the 70 bull, but he was just a really nice, respectable bull, especially for my first one. Like, just a really nice bull.
You ain't lying.
Yeah. Yeah, you got to see it.
Yeah. That's a great bull. So you guys started with waterfowl from that when you gave them, little heads up on, this
At
tag.
this point, we've hunted every together, I guess, every species. Really? Deer, antelope, and elk.
You like this motherfucker that much?
It's weird.
I just sleep in the same tent with him.
I was
you in a 4-man tent with Walker.
I know it's
like a 1.5.
Yeah. I know, dude. I know.
Nah, we was in a big ass fucking pop-up tent. Fuck you, one more.
So let me ask you this one more. Like you've been guiding for this. Like, what's some of the fucking craziest shit that some people have done that you've guided? Well, I said, what kind of species have you guided? do
Well,
that one first.
let's kind of loop this story together real quick before the whole guiding deal started out. So I was wrestled, went to Shatter State, wrestling college, came back, and I started coaching in 2002, right out of college. A guy that owned an outfitting business. It was a pretty small operation. He'd take 10 guys per season. I say small because it was kind of like a subcontractor type deal. Hey, you guys are going to stay over here. This is how much you're going to pay. You're going to pay for your own lodging. We'll take you on this private ranch. So I started working for this guy because he came to me one night at practice and said, hey, you hunt a lot. I know your family hunts, and all this shit. And he goes, I lease this ranch up in Granby. And I said, oh, yeah. And he goes, do you know that ranch? And I said, and I gave him the name of this specific tree on the ranch. He goes, how in the hell do you know about that? And I said, me and my brother's been hunting up there. And he goes, really? And I said, yeah. And he goes, so you know the ranch pretty well? And I'm like, pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
We weren't trespassing or anything. We get permission through the ranch owner. And so we'd hunt on the back side of it. So I knew this ranch very well. In that first year, I went to bitch, right?
Yeah.
Camp bitch.
Yeah.
And you would go drag animals out.
Yeah.
You would do everything. And so I was just trying to get my foot in the door. Well, we killed 69 elk that year.
Holy
first year.
And
that's cows and bulls. And so you're at the skin and shed till midnight, fucking around and skinning stuff and freezing your ass off and going, this sucks, but this is what you got to do.
Yeah.
And so within probably 3 years, I was lead guide, right? Outfitting.
3 years, you moved up to lead guy.
Lead guy. Yeah, but it's, in the outfitting business, it's not a real glamorous thing. So lead titles don't mean shit to me, really.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, now I get to run this bitch.
Yeah.
And he had another, business. So he would stay in town, let me run that. And you're taking high-end clientele at 25 years old. And these guys roll into camp and they're like,
looking at you like this young whippersnapper probably don't know his
kid.
ass from a hole in the ground.
And so you come up with a plan, and these old dudes would be, they're paying big money.
Yeah.
And they'd be looking at you like, I don't know if I trust this deal. And then all of a sudden, I'd tell the boss, I said, after a while, I'd be like, okay, we got 6 hunters first season. We'll be done by Sunday, Sunday at noon. He'd be like, whatever. And bang, we'd be done Sunday morning. I'm like, we're done. And so that just built and built. And he's like, okay, this dude actually puts together plans. He knows that because hunting private is a lot easier.
100%. That's my cup of tea.
So we started out with elk. And then we started shooting some deer. And this is back in early 2000s in Greene County. And I can say that now because deer hunting kind of went to shit. But early on, we had big deer. And so we wouldn't charge any more money for like a combo hunt. It was like $3,500 for an elk hunt. Plus, you could shoot a deer if you got.
God, that's a steal.
Good old days, dog.
Well, we started seeing these 200-inch deer.
Shit.
And I'm like, hey man, we started doing deer hunts because these
now you're out there hunting for deer, so you're seeing a lot more now.
And so then it was deer, and then we added antelope, and then it was moose hunts, and and then I got into cat hunting a little bit, working for a guy.
And hounds and stuff, yeah.
Yeah, it's and I like cat hunting. It's rinse and repeat. It's fun. It is.
I don't know if I could get into that.
Like day in, day. No, probably not. I mean, for me, but the first time, like my little brother, he was telling, oh, I'd never pay for a hunt. I'd never pay for dogs and blah, blah, blah. Well, I got the, phone call. Hey, we cut some tracks from a guy. This was when I was like, I don't know, 30 years old. And I paid pretty cheap money to go on this mountain lion hunt. And I called my brother up and said, hey, you want to go with us? He's like, yeah, whatever, I'll go. So as soon he had his checkbook out right that day, he's like, dude, this was the funnest thing I've ever done.
Yeah, right.
That Tweak or Tyson?
Tweak.
Okay.
The mount.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So I've guided all kinds of hunts, and in the last couple of years, Walker was on a sheep hunt with me.
Yeah, I remember that.
And really, I mean, guiding is all the same process, no matter what you're hunting.
Yeah.
You got to think about it.
Play the wind.
You got to, play wind. You got to know your property. You got to know topography. You got to know everything.
Yep.
And it's like these private ranches. There's a reason why these guys get paid, because they know a good outfitter does his homework. You know, it's not like guides and outfitters go home and they're just a good hunter. They're doing homework. They're studying those animals,
and they know the land.
Yeah, and patterns, everything. So I guess for people listening, if you get a good outfitter, they do their they do their homework.
Keep them.
It's not going to be the excuse. Oh, is it hot and dry? You're still going to find those animals when it's hot and dry.
Might have to hunt them a little different.
Yeah, but it's all the same.
I think another important thing too, just going on the ins and outs of guiding, is like reading the client, because you're going to have a guy come in there that's going to be like very rigid and be like, I'm 190 to a 196 buck. I'd like him to be 6 years. You're going to have that guy, or you're going to have a guy that's like, fucking let's go, man. Let's go ride around, see what we find. Right. And it's like, you got to be able to have that balance of giving them what they want from the standpoint of having a good time or entertainment, if you will. But at the same time, they're not paying what they're paying just to ride around and listen to music, right? Like they're trying to kill an animal.
Yeah,
so
absolutely. I don't know. It's either riding on like what I've guided out there, it's a little, different than out hiking and, setting up bike camps and shit like that. But which I don't know if I would be willing to do that, because, I have hard enough time just doing it for myself, you know what I mean? Let alone doing it for somebody else, So, but, the antelope deal, dude, I fucking love that shit, because it's fun. Like we're going to have fun, and you're going to get multiple shots. I promise you that.
And all you guys have both guided before. And I guess that the guiding industry from a guide's perspective, it's about 90% camaraderie and
100%.
knowing how to have a conversation.
I would say that,
because it's like any sport. If you're living with that person day in and day out, you better have something to talk about.
Yeah.
So when you have these clients, I'd always tell these guys that started with us, I'd say, pretty much fake it till you make it. Just have a conversation with these people. Just talk to them, because that's 90% of what you're going to be doing.
That's all you're going to do.
In 10%, you might be on a hunt that takes up 5, 10, half hour. Maybe if you're good, if you get into a good hunt, maybe 4 hours, you put a stock on. But that's it. Other than that, it's, make a conversation.
Yeah, what do you do for a living? Like, what fuck, get any pussy lately?
Like, but
I've been with those guys
that's
before.
funny.
You know what I mean?
Just asking about life.
It is
life
like,
shit,
you know
man.
what I mean? Like, it's pretty easy for me, because like, people know we're out of that fighter guy that did that. So, they asked that question. So I'm like, okay, here's going to be a couple hours of talking about this shit. But it's cool because it breaks the ice, and they get to know that, what kind of person I am. I will slap the fuck out of you. You talk to me.
It's very simple. No, but seriously,
but that's what I'm saying. Like, oh, you played the NFL. Yeah, motherfucker, I move people. The point of being is, when I take on a client, I want them to have a great time.
Yep.
Period. Yes. Do you want them to kill? Hell yeah, you do. Just like anything. Because it's like when I have a client, it's like me having the tag in my pocket. And frankly, man, I like when me and Walk double up on a client and like we do our deal, like I have so much fun, because I know we're gonna get in close, whether he gets the shot or gets the kill shot or not. That experience of us, using the decoys or whatever, dude, we have so much fun. It's like I shot the fucking animal. You know
Literally,
what I mean,
man?
It was so fun. And then this guy that's here is like thinks we're fucking like King Kong, like the best guys in the world, but we're not. We're just hunters, and we just want them to tag out too, But at the moral story is like when you're driving in the vehicle, yeah, you got to talk to them, and you got to fucking be like, you got to be, this is your fucking client. You got to be, I don't know. I've always worked with people, so it was easy for me. It was easy. I would personal train people, you know what I mean? Like, so I got lawyer, therapist, I'm everything when I'm a
Yeah,
personal
that's
trainer.
right.
When you're a coach, you're like, fuck, so I've been at all. And you just hear it, and sometimes you just want to just turn the radio on and say, shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Let's go. That's
when
true.
you're guiding these guys, I mean, let's face it, 99% of the time they're not going to shoot a trophy animal, right?
Mhm.
So when those guys go home and they spend,
Buku bucks.
4, 6, 12,000 bucks, what they're going to remember is
Is the
Luke.
time.
That's
or
a really good
Josh,
point. That's a
Or
really good point.
We have this all the time. We talk about this all the time.
I had a client, buddy of mine, Steve. I'm sure he listens to this. Shout out to Steve from California. He's a vegetable farmer. He's done really good at that.
I think he's more my friend than yours, though.
Multi-generation. He didn't call you on Christmas. Anyway, here we go. Calls me on Christmas one more. Guy calls and he's just like, man, I just want to say Merry Christmas. I had a great time with you again this year and riding around with Luke. So I knew him from 2 years ago. He met him this year, I believe. And me and him I was tag team the one that he should have been done day one. Steve, you should have been done day one. That's it. Let's put it like, Steve should have been tagged and bagged on day one.
He pre-ejaculated, bro.
Because we had him. We walked him in.
He pre-ejaculated.
Oh, anyway. I like Steve.
Time me on Christmas.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, maybe it's a little bit better for him.
No, that's really
that's
really what makes a good hunt from a mediocre hunt, because they're not shooting. I'm not going to say I'm going to be like every year, I shot a record book animal. They don't.
Yeah.
So it's who you are.
And personally, I don't. I mean, would I like to have a reputation like that? Sure. I mean, I guess you could long dick everybody, But I'd rather have a reputation of being like, dude, I want Luke to be. They
want to keep hunting with you.
I want to keep
because he's a cool guy.
Yeah, we have fun. Yep. We have a good time. I'm coming out here because my wife said I can come out here for 3-4 days and go hunting. I'm gonna go hunting with this motherfucker. That's what I take pride in. And when we shoot a good animal, it's icing on the cake.
Icing on the cake.
Yep. Icing on the cake.
Well, let me tell you about this motherfucker. So I take him through. Took him through one lap of the ranch, which was the day before it started.
Yeah.
The next day, he took the old guy out. Don't remember his name, a great guy. First day.
Rick.
Was it Steve's dad?
No,
I'll tell you a story about Rick.
Oh, that was the coaches. Remember?
Yeah.
Took him out, walked him, tell him about it.
So yeah, real quick. So when I went out to meet everybody, I met you, Alex, and I was with Josh, and and a cool group of guys. And when you're divvying up hunt, I've been down that road night before, going, hey man, this guy. It's kind of like drawing cards, right?
Yeah.
Well, I drew the short straw.
Drawing straws, yeah.
I'm like, damn, they did you dirty. But he must be good though. You know what I'm saying? He's good.
I already told him yesterday. I said, just let him go. I showed him everything you need to see.
Yeah, and it's okay. I mean, I totally get it. Hey, I'm new. Nobody knows me out there, but I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
I got to prove myself. Whatever. Yeah. And so 82-year-old man Rick.
82? Repeat, 82-year-old
damn, I
man.
hope I'm 82 and I can still do
it.
But
Rick is a cool dude. And this is a story that said, this is going back to one of the best stories I have. So riding around with Rick, and what kind of antelope you're looking for tells me who he is, and I'm like, this dude's pretty cool man, 82 years old.
Very well-traveled guy. I've seen some things and done some things in life.
Yeah, and he's out getting it, right? And I got respect for him. And so we spot these antelopes that are bedding in this little draw. And I said, hey, man, can you walk? He goes, how far? I'm like, well, I don't know, five poles, power poles.
Yeah.
So he looks down there and goes, how far is that? And I'm like, 3/4 of a mile. It's hot out there,
Yeah.
90 degrees. So we stop the truck, we start stalking, and he tells me before we get out of the truck, he goes, hey man, I can't kneel down to shoot. I can't lay down because I won't get off the ground. I need to stand and shoot.
Oh.
So I'm running through my head. I'm like, shit, 82 years old. This guy probably has a little shake to him, and he's shooting off a bipod standing up. I'm like, this is the worst situation ever in the world.
Absolutely.
So we sneak in on these antelope, and I see the buck bedded to the left. I see a bunch of does bedded to the right. And I said, okay, the buck's on the left, and it's kind of on a little rise. And I look at, I'm short, so I'm trying to look up over. And I said, you see the antelope? He's pointing at this doe. And I said, no, the one on the left. So he wheels over, and he goes, yeah, I see him. He's facing away. And I said, okay. I said, go ahead and squeeze the trigger. Well, I see his gun rested on his bipod like this, and we're staying, wind's blowing. And he looks back and he goes, the wind's blowing. I said, that thing's going to stand up when you don't shoot. Thing flops over. And I'm like, holy shit, man, this dude just killed us. Like the possible impossible.
Yeah.
Dude. When he called me, I was so fired up because I was like, he did it.
Me? I do remember
Day
that.
one, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It was opening. It was the first day, bro.
So I texted everybody, hey,
We tugged out.
we're done. So it's like, serious?
Serious?
So,
I remember Nestor texted me. He goes, dude, Cody got it done with the old man. I said, hell yeah, he did.
so we get this antelope loaded, after we get back in the truck and everything. And I don't know what to do.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Oh yeah,
everything's
you
in
don't
the
know, hang a
cooler.
tree or whatever.
Yeah,
Yes,
you can't get the thing. We already had it skinned out. And so put it in the cooler, drive it around, and I start telling the story. And this goes back, we talked a little bit earlier about small world, right?
Yeah.
How people have conversations. Well, I'm telling a story about my old business partner. And my old business partner is from Texas. He went to school at CU, played quarterback. So I'm telling this whole story. And then he broke his leg doing hang clean, and then finished up at Texas A&M as a safety. And old Rick, he looks over at me, he smiles, and he goes, I know exactly who you're talking about. And I don't know if I'll just say his name. He goes, you're talking about Jeremy Weisinger. And I looked at that dude, and I'm like,
how the hell?
Are you serious?
Never met this man in his life.
Yeah. And Nestor sticks me with this old man, right?
Yeah.
And I'm like, what?
What
in the hell? He goes, his dad and I were business partners with this other guy. And I'm like, there's no way. And so he's telling us this story about how they reinvested money into Uvalde, Texas, and he was the head of that, and big bankers down there. And he helped Jeremy Weisinger get recruited by Bill McCartney to CU.
Oh my God.
And so I'm just listening to this story like,
Nuts.
this is the craziest
It's small
thing
world,
I
dude.
have ever.
Nuts.
Fucking small world, dude. That's what
Nuts.
you're saying right there.
But yeah, he's just laughing about it. And he goes, how's he doing anyway? And I said, let's call him. So I called him, and Jeremy's like, you with him right now?
So it's something behind it.
And I go, yeah. And he goes, yeah, call me later. But it was cool. I mean, to be in Lyman, Colorado, short, I drew the short straw, take this guy, tell him a story. I thought nobody would, and he knows exactly who it is.
That is crazy.
That's
crazy.
That was one of the most
It's
wild.
a small world, man. Like it is, man. It's just, I'm a guy that I'm a firm believer. I will not burn a bridge till that bridge has done me fucking wrong. Because you never know, dude. You know what I mean? Like especially this outdoor like hunting community, dude. It's such a small fucking circle. You know what I mean? Like, let's keep it real. You do one bad thing, or your name will get blasted everywhere, bro.
Yeah.
And I mean, and I don't have a problem with it if I know I'm in the right. But it's people talk, people do this and that, and I'm like, holy shit, Walker was born in a barn.
Let's roll.
Jesus. I'm fucking.
I got a good one more story here.
I'm over here nipping out over here, dog.
What'd you do out there anyway?
I had to go out there and relieve myself, buddy. But
That
now
was
I'm
quick.
about to.
That was like 2 Did it just?
Well, I've only had like 5
shotgun it?
Coors Lights, so it wasn't that much of a drain that needed to happen. But
Jesus.
hold on, let me drop a good one more story on you. I think one of the most action-packed one more stories that's ever happened. So we're hunting elk in a very, very nasty location. Not a whole ton of mileage in, but a ton. And it just so happened to be me, him, and Jeremy Weisinger and another buddy. It just so happened to be. So I know JW. So we go in this area and we get out the truck, and it's probably 40, 45 degrees one more. Pretty comfortable when we left the truck. Well, we get to the very top of the mountain and it ain't 40 degrees no more. It is a snowstorm that blew in, probably 20, 25 mile an hour winds, white out. Like it was a dangerous situation because we got above tree line. So we ended up, there was like a clump of 3 or 4 trees, and we all hunkered down and put our packs into the wind and hunkered down. And one of the other Texas boys who was he was in a really bad way as far as being in shape, and he'd been, thank you, and he had so on and so forth, all right, and thought that, anyway, so we get up there.
Yep.
You already know. So we get up there, and Maroney, it was Maroney's his name, right? Randall.
Yeah.
Randall is falling asleep, and it's brutal out. You should not be falling asleep.
Yeah, wake it up. Bro.
So that's not. So he's like, you better wake your boy up. And she told me, he's like, he's a grown ass man. He can do what he wants. Didn't he? Did he not say that?
Yeah.
He's like, he's a grown ass man. It's like, dude's gonna die up here. It was a serious situation. Anyway, we got out of the situation and we hunted along and didn't really get into much. So we stopped around 11 o'clock, noon to eat lunch. So we eat our lunch and we take a little nap. And we were all standing up, getting ready to, after the post nap, figure out what we're about to do, right? And we just hear a faint in a nasty, nasty spot. And them Texas boys look at each other like, fuck. And it was me and one more and our buddy Seth Groff. We look at each other like, let's fucking go, motherfucker. Let's roll. And they're like, hey, we'll meet you. Did they not say we'll meet you at the truck? They said, we'll meet you at the truck. And we dropped off in a hellhole. And at one point, so I knew we were about to hit them because we were running up on shit so fresh. Like you could damn near see you could smell the shit. Not the elk. You could smell the shit. It was that fresh. And we're in this, steep, dark, timber, nasty, a little bit of running water. Elky as it gets, nobody's up there with us for good reason because it is brutal up there. Well, finally we can hear him running off. So I'm hitting them with the bugle, trying to make it sound like we're elk. We're running after him. And I remember at one point I looked at you and I was like, hey, one more. This ain't no huge deal. But I was like, my knees bother me, buddy. I looked at him. I said, I'm just going to tell you, it's bothering me.
So we jumped.
It was my knees hurting because we were running after these elk, talking to them. And they were responding. And so finally we get this bull off and he was by himself. The bull was by himself and Seth has got a muzzleloader tag. So I drop off in the back and I'm calling, the bull's responding. Yeah. He's coming through these young spruce trees and I'm watching Groff. Groff's got a good rest. Cody's behind him. And I see this fucking bull coming through the spruce. I'm like, here we fucking go. And he stops. Remember, he froze for a minute. He froze. I'm like, what the fuck's going on? Send it. I'm like, why ain't he sending it? And this bull just slowly whirls and goes up in the woods. And we stop, we kind of talk and we're like, let's just follow him. So he's kind of going along the mountain like this and we're below him and we kind of follow him. And I'm way back here calling and they start cutting up in the woods after him. And I'm way back here. And I remember I go to run up in the woods and one more goes like this. And he goes like this right here, bugle. So I bugle. And when I bugle, I see the bull and he turns sideways. I'm like, here we fucking go. Groff's leaned up against the tree with a muzzleloader and I'll go ahead and drop the bat. This bull got killed later on, a 347 bull with 10 inches of fore broken off. Giant bull.
Oh, he's a big one.
He turns and looks at Seth and I'm like, here we go, baby. And I see him flinch. I'm like, no.
What, the primary?
I knew it was a muzzleloader. I already knew what was going on. I'm like, fuck. And it's just like, he was all fired up, dude. He's like, what do I do? And Cody's standing there, he goes to reach in his pocket. He's shaking so bad he can't. Cody reaches in his pocket for him and he grabs his bag of primers out and shit.
Hey, for real though, it ain't bad at the guy. Fuck it.
So he fucking pops his muzzleloader open, pulls the primer out, puts it back in there, snaps it together, leans back on the tree, and the bull never moved. I'm like, hell yeah, here we fucking go. Lunges again. I'm like, what the fuck? And it was either Seth or Cody snapped it together all the way. It wasn't together all the way.
Locked, yeah.
Finally, throws it back up there. Bull still standing there. Kaboom! Big poop of smoke. I'm like, he's toast. What was it, 80 yards, 100 yards? I'm like, he's fucking toast. He's like, Walker, let's go fucking. We followed that fucking track, and we followed that track. Not a drop of blood. Clean miss.
Oh, my God.
Clean miss,
But we got him about a month later.
Mm-hmm.
What?
Dude, this bull is standing there broadside, and I'm like, I've got the bugle to my mouth with my mouth open like, oh, my God, looking at this bull.
Shit.
Kaboom! Big poop of smoke. And I felt good because I was like, that's close. He had to have hit him in the guts or something at least. You know what I mean? They wouldn't have got there.
Not even close.
Nope.
Bro, I'm telling you right now, I like muzzleloader hunt. I really do.
I'm a muzzleloader deer this year.
I've never done it up here, right? Never done it up here because I don't know about open sights. I think I would suck.
Scope.
Dude, I shot an antelope.
Nebraska.
In scope in Nebraska, right?
I shot an antelope frontal at 115 yards.
It's a big difference. It's a big difference. I don't give a fuck what anybody says. I don't know if I would be good enough to fucking do it. Muzzle open sight. I don't know. I mean, I would have to put my time in.
You wrestled before. You could keep up with us. You could do all the shit we do.
I know I could. I don't quit. I do. I
Mm-hmm.
just piece of shit sometimes.
Get scared.
We're all in here yet. We
scared.
still put something together. Fuck.
So I'll tell you a couple stories. What's a good?
At one point,
I've
you
told
got
you a lot of good stories.
At one
about
point, you got to tell the moose when the guy tipped you that piece of moose backstrap.
I'll tell this story right now.
I want to hear this.
That's a good one.
Hold on. You got tipped a piece of moose meat?
Oh,
That's
dog.
a good tip.
No, it's
A
not.
piece. Yes,
No,
a
it's
piece.
not. Your tip on a
About
moose
like
hunt?
this.
Oh, you didn't get no money.
Exactly.
I
Go
got
ahead and
a
tell the
piece
story.
of-
Exactly.
Oh,
yes, sir.
hell no.
That's what we're talking about, bro.
So when I was working,
So time out. Before you start this story, let's just get this out in the open. Because motherfuckers actually need to hear this.
This is great. I know where you're going with this.
And I've been on guided hunts. I've been on hunts, not very many, because one, I can't afford a lot of them, and two, I like to do my own shit, right? But when I take it, I make sure that I have enough money to pay the outfitter and pay the fucking guide, because you got to tip the guide.
and they're working their ass off.
Mm-hmm.
They are, because now I know, and I think it's just realizing what I have to do as a guide. And you got to admit, antelope hunts a little different than all the other stuff.
It's a lot easier.
Everybody knows fucking this damn motherfucker stink, dog. You know they do. But I'm not scared to admit that, right? Like I'll tell my clients right now, hey, you about to see some dry heaving, motherfucker. Maybe me even chucking. But it's funny to them, and they're like, oh fuck, you're right. This does smell like shit. I'm like, I told you. But so the moral of the story I was getting at is, I've heard it from multiple guys before, and they've gotten fucking shafted by some of these bigger guys that have money or people that go on these hunts. I don't give a fuck if you have money or you don't have money or you're a celebrity or what. Pay your fucking guy, tip him.
If you're not prepared to tip, don't go on the hunt.
The minimum is 10%, right?
I mean, that's bare minimum.
Bare minimum. And I've gotten both. I've been shafted and I've gotten taken care of very well, right? Way more than 10%. And I take pride in that, though. You know what I mean? Like, I try to take these motherfuckers on that are hunting their life, like, the best experience possible.
Well, and I guess I could say that there's three levels of tippers, right? There's guys, working class guys.
Yep.
That are working, they're busting their ass every day, and they got a job, and they got to show up.
They
got to do this.
Mm-hmm.
They're pretty good tippers.
Yep.
Pretty good, as much as they can.
Yep.
And then you got the next level. Yep. That hey, I caught a break. I'm worth a lot of money. And I have the money to tip this motherfucker. I'm going to tip the shit out of this.
Yep.
Because I work my ass off for my money. And then there's the ultra wealthy. Okay. Ultra wealthy don't give a fuck about you. They're not going to tip you shit because they don't care. So all my years of guiding, I've seen that. And it's kind of like, this dude, and you can before they even show up who they are, what they are. You ride around with them for a couple hours. You're like, this dude's a dick.
It don't take long to sit in the cab of a truck with somebody and find out.
I got that too. Like, and it's not like I'm trying to check out how fat their pocketbook is.
No,
but like literally, you either know they're gonna be, this is gonna be a good time, because I always try to have a good time. But there's times where you're just like, all right, motherfucker, I'm trying to get you the fucking first animal we see.
It's when it's a job.
Get you the fuck out of my fucking vehicle.
That's when.
And I've only had not even a handful. I'm pretty fucking easy, right? Like I get along with everybody, right? But there's guys that just have that ego and this and that. I'm like, bro, if you could fucking do this on your own, then why the fuck are you here? You know what I mean?
And let's preface this with I appreciate every tip.
Yes,
that I've ever
absolutely.
received, except a couple. Cash tip, and this is an NFL
very well respected NFL players. Dad, he could say the name. People going shit, so don't even say the name.
I'm not gonna say
he's very well respected.
He played in Denver, so I'm sure people can figure it out. Took his dad out, so his dad and his two buddies come into camp. They shoot 3 bulls, and Sunday night they shot 3 bulls by Sunday. Come in Monday night. Hey, we're gonna leave Tuesday. You know, we killed our elk and blah blah blah. Here's your tip. And this is no shit. We're sitting there with a bunch of guides on one table, and at Sea Lazy, it's like a 5-star. I edit that out.
Yeah,
but it's a 5-star restaurant pretty much. You know, you're getting 3-course meals and
white tablecloth, champagne glass. Da 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 da.
So this dude, he goes, "Here's your tip," and he slides me a 50 across the table, and I got all my guides.
$50 bill
for all 3 of them, because he goes, I'm gonna take care of my 2 buddies. And I took that 50 and I went, you might need that more than I do. And he looked at me like I was the biggest asshole in the world. And the guys that are working for me are like, what are you doing? I'm like, that dude gave it, I'll give you all $50 out of my own pocket. And I probably don't even have it. I'm like, but this dude, no way.
Unacceptable.
So, same guy comes back next year, kills another bull.
Nobody wanted to guide him.
No, nobody wanted to guide him. I got to guide him. He shoots a bull. 3rd year he comes back, or he tries to come back. He calls me on my cell phone. I'm like, I don't want this guy to have my number. But my boss at the time, hey, here's his number. He calls me up and he's like, hey, what's the elk hunt looking like? I said, looks like shit. You might not want to come back. And this is like June. And he's like, how can you tell?
You know it's already shitty.
It's just going to be shitty. I just know it's going to be shitty. And I said, it'd probably be better if you don't come back. And he's like, are you uninviting me? Are you not going to have me back? I'm like, no, it's just we don't have any. I'm sorry, man. I don't know what else to do.
At one point, do you just say something to him?
You know, believe it or not, I'm a nice guy. A lot of people say different. I think some of them say I'm an asshole, but I say the truth. So
but I respect the honesty more than anything. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and it's at the end of the day, I'm not going to be like, hey, this is from that $50 ticket, because that makes me sound like shit.
Yeah.
Right? I mean,
well, yes and no, because that's why every chance I get, I talk about it, because you know, some people may not understand, know it. You know, $50 might do it, but listen, dude, do your homework.
What, you can't even buy 224 pounds. You know,
you ain't getting a tank of gas, bro.
Well, I told y'all I had a whitetail guy, a mule deer hunter 2 years ago. I whack him a mule deer, and these are high-dollar mule deer hunts. Guy tipped me $200, and it's like, thanks. You know, it's like, thanks, but it's like, damn, did you run the numbers on what minimum 10%, right? Like that ain't even. I paid that riding you around in fuel.
I know, and I get it, and like, man, it's just like it sucks because you know you don't want to be that dickhead to be like, dude, you didn't at least pay me 10%. I mean, when I go to the fucking restaurant, bro, yeah, if it's good, I always go above it. Right, and my wife fucking hates me for that, right? But dude, I've been
it's good service. Yeah,
I've been in the game where I've done that too. You know what I mean? And like everything I've worked my way up to where I'm at. So then I'm like, oh, am I ultra rich? Am I wealthy rich? No, I'm more the fucking blue collar rich. But I appreciate
it's gonna do as much as you can to make that
what I can and some. You know what I mean? Because, like I said, if I can't do it, if I can't take my family out to eat, then we shouldn't be going out to eat.
Well,
go ahead, one more.
And let's put this out there. Hey, what's the standard tip?
Yeah,
you know, and I say tip what's appropriate. You can do 10% rule. You can do 15% rule. All of us have been tipped more and less.
Mm-hmm.
The thing is that guides aren't making a lot of money. They do it because they love to do it. You're not doing it because you're getting rich off it.
No.
And you know, Luke and Josh and me, you guys aren't doing it because you're making a lot of money.
No.
It's because you like to meet people, and that's the game.
I like going out for the experience, honestly, too.
I just like to be in the woods.
Drinking beers at night with these guys and each
and
other.
I do get to make some money. You know what I mean? You do get to make some money doing what you like.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I'm like, I like the point where I get to get better at my craft.
That's right.
I mean, that's what I am. I just like to say, like, it's like going to practice. Like when I was fighting, why'd I go to practice all the time? To get better at my shit, right? Yep. I had to get better at my shit. Well, I want to hunt. I want to hunt better. So what better way is it to be out?
There is no better way. You can watch as many YouTube videos as you want.
Sportsman channel
till
all
you're
you want.
Blue in the face, but it's all about boots on the ground.
Till you're out there. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. I can honestly say this now. If I have an antelope tag in my pocket, 98% chance I'm gonna feel that fucking just because I've been around it so fucking much, Now, shit, before this, I didn't know shit about antelope hunting, bro. I swear to God I didn't. But the more I did it now, I don't feel like I'm an expert at it, but goddamn, I feel like I'm pretty damn good enough to go out there and we're gonna tag out, But going living.
It's like I told become a guide, right?
It seems like a glamorous thing, doesn't it?
There's
like everything's
to
great.
it. Hey man, it's gonna be awesome. Well, guess what? It's a full-time, part-time job because you can't be a guide and be successful and only work 3 months out of the year. But you have to be there 3 months of the year, so you can't have another job. So it's a full-time, part-time job. These guys are making, you make decent money, but for the 3 months. But outside of that, what the hell? Somebody's going to hire you for 9 months.
What are you going to be, a coyote guide?
You're
going to start guiding coyotes or something?
Or, you know what I mean? You're like a fucking top tier trainer, only taking too many fighters.
Yeah, it is.
One time a year, maybe two. So I got to make smart decisions.
Full-time, part-time job.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I guess one of the, on the opposite end of the spectrum, one of the best tips I got is a guy from Florida. And the guy, we became friends over 3 or 4 years. And he is an old man, in his 70s, and pushed him kind of hard last night. He shot this big ass bull muzzleloader, shot it like 150 yards. And it was like a prayer. He goes, how far is that bull? And I say, he's 80 yards. And he goes, this is my claim to fame. Put it at the top of his back. This is before rangefinders. I'm like, put it at the top of his back. He goes, he's only 80 yards. I'm like, yeah, put it at the top of his back. I'm like, can you see that far? This thing hits the ground. That dude went from 0 to hero like that.
Really?
So that night, this dude gets so hammered. We're at dinner that night. And there was like a women's horseback riding deal at the same time. So all the guides and hunters are sitting at this table, same place. I'm looking around the room and I'm like, man, where's Dale at? Dale's not there. And I'm like, somebody better go check on him. I think, if he had a heart attack or something like that. Had a pretty rough day. So Dale comes walking in, excuse me. And he has 2 old women in their 60s or 70s.
Oh, shit.
He's got a wine bottle in each hand, and he's just shit-faced. Comes walking upstairs, and he called me Whistle Dick. Like, Whistle Dick.
I ain't Whistle Dick.
Yeah, he's like, hey, you little Whistle Dick fucker. And I'm like, oh, God, here we go. But we gave each other shit. That's the camaraderie we had.
Yeah.
And he had a son who would always he was always weird about it. He's like, you and my dad have a relationship that's different than ours.
Yeah.
Because I give the guy shit.
Yeah.
He is multimillionaire, awesome dude. Just
he needed that in his life.
Yeah. And he
probably doesn't get it much.
And just talk shit. And kind of going back. And I ask everybody, when you're a guide, you got to ask him, hey, what do you do for a living? The guy graduated. He goes, I graduated 8th grade and I quit school.
Oh, shit.
And then I became a painter, and he goes Amish. And, he goes through this whole deal, and I knocked my teeth out when a barn door came shut. And I'm like, damn, this dude's been through it all. So we built this relationship over 3 years, and we're at dinner that night. Same situation where the guy slides me a 50. He's got a manila envelope about this big. And he goes, here's some grease for your pocket. And that fucker is like that thick.
That's fat.
And I'm like, fuck, is this all like 20s or 5? What the fuck? And so all the guides are looking at down the table, and I just stick it in my pocket, and I'm like, thanks, man. Sometimes he goes, you gonna count it? I'm like, I'm not gonna count it.
I would never do that.
I'm like, I'm not doing this. And so we go downstairs, at the bar, and I'm like, holy fuck, it's all $100 bills.
Oh shit.
It's like $6,000. And I'm like, holy shit, I'm all freaked out at that point. And they're like, how much to tip you? And so that went from, we would get individual tips, because there was probably 5 to 6 guys working at a time. We'd get individual tips and keep them all. And then when I ran that, I'm like, okay, this isn't fair because, if you're the lead guy coming in there, who do you want as the guide? Probably the lead guide or the guy that runs this show. That's who's going to get the tip. And I'm like, okay, here's how we're going to do this shit. If you work for 5 days, if you work, you work for 5 days, you work for 5 days, and I work for 12 days, and they tip $12,000. Well, I get $2,000. You get 5,000 because you're putting in the work, right?
Mm-hmm.
I know it's a socialist way to do shit, but it's the most fair because
it is fair. In that kind of game.
Yeah, I mean, some of the guides will high grade people and be like, I know this guy tips a couple grand, and this guy's going to tip $200.
Yeah.
Well, guess what? You all worked your ass off for the same shit.
Which makes sense. I get that. I don't know if it makes sense completely. Like in my deal, like our deals, we keep our tips, all our tips, right? Mm-hmm. Everything. And it works both ways. I've been, shafted on both ends, this and that. Like, I thought it was included into the package. My bad, Guess what, dude? Like I said, I'm here for the experience and everything, but at the same time, I do want to make money because when I'm not here, when I'm out there, I got to make money, right? And it doesn't chap my ass as much. It's just kind of more like I know I'll have a better client coming next time. I just got to keep my spirits high,
Yeah, because you clients out there listening, you're far and few between. The bad ones are far and few between. I would say 1 to 5%. It's really.
What's so crazy really is I probably talk to all my clients still, especially now social media.
Mm-hmm.
They like my shit. We stay in touch. You know what I mean? Like, it's crazy because it's a friendship that I would never thought. They call me the lope master.
Not the masturbator.
The lope master. Shit.
You know what I mean? I just. It is what it is.
I got a ton of one more stories, but here's a good one, a deer story. We're up in this. Remember we were at such and such pass when I killed that deer, that little 4-point? Brutal cold. I'm talking about fucking cold. Was it 4th? I think it was 4th. This is like 4 years ago.
Third season.
Yeah, okay, it was 3rd. So I mean, it was cold.
Your beard was all fucking frozen.
That was that hunt. That. So it was him and his buddy.
He was with you?
It was me and him and his buddy John, and that was it. What was it, me and Snow, or was there somebody else?
Andrew.
Yeah, Andrew was there too. So I'm hunting deer, and I believe most of them are looking for elk. So we go into this spot, and I'd actually been there earlier that year. Remember, I went there earlier that year looking at it for elk. And so I get to this spot, and I see where I want to get to, and they want to get up and over. So I was like, I'm just going to stay here by myself and overlook this whole basin. So that's what I did. So they go leave, and it's snow. I don't know if it was actively snowing, but there was a bunch of snow on the ground. It was cold as shit. And I just remember like convulsing, and I didn't want to do it. And again, like now, after I seen it doesn't really affect them, I started fire. Yeah, I was right beside me. Started a big old fire. Started right next to me because it got bad enough where I thought I need to fire. So they go up and they do their thing. They hunt for a little bit, and they come down. I think we meet where I was at, and then we go to walk out. Well, no. Did we meet up and then we saw that deer?
We spotted those deer, yeah.
We saw the deer before y'all went up over. Yeah. Anyway, on the way out, we're walking the trail, and I go first because I'm hunting deer. So I'm like, all right, cool. Hopefully there's deer. On the trail, I'm walking on the trail. I'm just off to the side, and I look, fucking 4-point looking right at me. I've got his gun for some reason. I don't know what happened, but I've got his gun. Fucking got his gun. There's that deer looking at me like 70 yards. He's still looking at me. I'm like, fuck. Put another one in. He's still looking at me. I'm like, fuck. I only had 2 of them in there. So I pull out another shell, and there's like over a foot of snow on the ground. Go to shove another one in there, and I drop it down the snow. So I can't find a bullet. I'm like running my hand through the snow trying to find this bullet. I find the bullet, wipe the bullet off, and I literally shove one bullet in there. And that deer's looking like, what is going on right now? And I'm like, come on, dude. I just put one in there. Whack. And I'm like, yes. and he goes out of sight, but I hear him hit the ground and slide, and I hear one more. Is he big? I was like, no. I was like, no, he ain't. I said, but he's dead.
He's big enough for me.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. But I mean, shit, one more. We've had the deer story. And then, I mean, shit, we could even talk about when we were up north hunting them ducks, when you finally got to see me damn near come unglued when those assholes were across the way. You know, Luke's relieving himself. So I'll try to tell this story slowly because I don't think he's ever heard this story. Was I out there a day before? Or did I stay a day after?
You were out there a day before.
That's what it was. Because I'd already killed a couple birds. And called my buddy one more. I think I had told you I was going up there beforehand, or I don't know if I called you and said, get up there or what it was. But I had the wall tent set up and one more comes up there and I'm excited because I'd killed 5 or 6 ducks the day before. They were all shit ducks. It was like hen shoveler and it was just shit ducks. And where the hell's Luke? He needs to hear this. Anyway, kill a couple ducks the day before Cody gets in and we camp out on these ducks. And the next morning we get out there and we were out there before anybody, right? Was there anybody out there yet? I think we were one of the couple
headlamps.
Yeah, we saw a couple headlamps out there, but we got out there real early and we got to where I wanted to get to. Remember that? We got to where I wanted to get to. All right, Luke, you got to hear the rest of this. I ain't told you this story yet. So we get out to the spot and I'm all fired up because I know there's going to be some ducks there because I'd already hunted it. Get all set up and I hear crunch, crunch, crunch coming through the sagebrush and they tried to hunt. They wanted to be where we was at, right? So these people come in. We're duck hunting. I know you don't care anymore. Anyway, we're hunting ducks. And so these people walk up on us, and I don't remember what was said, but they end up walking around, which, you know, I don't know the legality of what they did, just looking at the map, and I don't care. It ain't my business. Point is this. They sat up directly across from us, like this.
From the pond?
Like, the pond is this, and they set up across from us. We're shooting at each other when the birds come in.
What?
The reason I was going to tell this story, this is the first time he's got to see me about coming glued because I was fucking mad. I was mad because we had the spot first, and they were mad that they couldn't hunt it. So they walk all the way around, and they sit right in front of us, man. And it about got bad, man. It about got bad. But
what happened?
What did end up happening? I don't think did we shoot but a couple times, maybe?
We shot some ducks, but you threatened them, and I'm like, Walker, you better calm down.
No, it got bad, buddy, because they set up across from us.
No, I get that was the story I was trying to tell you. Like, literally, me hunting public land, I was like, it's not cool. Like, if you beat me to a spot and this and that, but then when you go right down below me and fuck up my hunt, like, listen, bitch, I'm going to have words with you.
Not only that, it's dangerous. They're directly across.
Yeah.
I put in too much work to, number one, get to that location, number two, find the ducks. But so am I going to like risk losing an opportunity at shooting birds because I don't want to shoot you? I'm not cool with that. Like, just don't line up across from us. And there's no issue there, right? Because there's times when I want to shoot, I'm not going to shoot because I don't want to shoot you.
Yeah.
But you put yourself in that situation. So I don't know. I've hunted a lot of stuff, everything that I can hunt. And I have never been in more altercations in the woods more than hunting ducks.
Yeah.
Hunting ducks. I've had 4 times where 1 in Green Bay, 2 here, and then actually 3 being the one up north. So yeah, I've had bad altercations.
Kind of brings me to my point. And I don't know, maybe this is something you can enlighten me on, Cody, but it's becoming a fucking lease deal. Your own fucking
paying to play.
I have no problem doing that. I mean, it's expensive. I can't do it. If I want to do it, like, I get it. But like, at some point, like, yes, public land is free, but is it free? Because when I go there and fucking get a 3rd-degree assault, possibly kill you, or they fucking shoot me. You know what I mean?
Well, public land. You know, I've since I stopped at that big ranch in Grand County, time now, I've always had run people out. But guess what? I'm killing shit every single year because, you know, and Josh knows Seth, and he's another wrestler he's from Grand County.
Really good hunter in very good shape. He's a daggone mountain goat too.
Yeah.
And he's
Very
in good
hunter.
shape. But the way we hunt public land is, you know, like I tell everybody, everything I do, you gotta have a little dumb in you. I'm sure
Most people ain't willing to
Yeah.
do the things that gets
More
done.
balls and brains.
Yeah,
you know what I
man.
mean?
If she listens to this, she'll be like, "Well, that was a stupid quote." But you have to have a little dumb in you,
Yeah.
because and what I'm saying in that is, hey, if we hike, you know, we start hiking and we hike 2.5 hours, you know, we get to a spot that's 5 miles back in. First of all, you shoot some elk 5 miles back in, that's gonna suck.
It's not.
And then guess what? If we don't see him, Seth and I don't see him, guess what we're doing? We're going to the next mountain, in the next mountain.
One more ridge.
Yeah, and then it just takes you into this vicious cycle. Hey, I'm still in good enough shape. But at the end of the day, are you really? When you shoot that animal, and that happened to me this winter with Seth. I'm like, after we shoot this thing, I'm like, dude, we're fucked. And it was a bad day could have turned into a 3-day pack out. Good thing it wasn't. But public land, you know, when I was outfitting on the private, I would always give tips and pointers to guys that would roll into town, because the startup cost to hunt and just to become a hunter, elk hunter especially, is high. I mean,
there's a barrier to entry for sure.
Yeah. Well, that being said, is you got to pay to play now.
But even that, the guys that could, but now with Onyx, with Go Hunt, with all this stuff, you get a bunch of young dudes that got a little dumb in them, and they're going to do it, and they're going to beat you and I to the punch, they'll beat you and I because they're 22 years old and they can do it. Does that make them better hunters? Probably not. It's because they have that little bit of drive. It's like, hey, I can walk 20 miles instead of 18.
Well, just beating us to the spot is only half the battle, right? You got to sit on that knob and you got to dig those things out of the landscape. So it's like you can get there as quick as you want, but if you can't sit there all day and dig them out, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's definitely different. But, you know, and good for them being young and dumb to go out and do it and they want to get an animal. I get that, right? But like I said, you said it just perfectly on the is when you go back further and then, you know, you can get back there. But when now you shoot like an elk, dude, that's been my deal all the time. Like we'll hear a fucking in the fucking shithole. I just know. I'm like, I'd rather fucking not do that because I'm gonna be fucked coming out of this. Or when we get it. You know what I mean? Because if I'm going down there, we're killing that motherfucker. But I don't want to fucking come back out with that bitch. You know what I mean? And that's just me being fucking call me whatever, but that's just me because I'm when it comes down to it, I'm just rather be smart than fucking stupid.
So real quick, one more. Obviously, you got a thought, but man, you don't always have of that mindset, which is crazy. For 16 yards from the truck.
Yeah, that's my kind of living.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it was, but
still tough.
It's still tough. All right. So, you know,
but fuck in your head though, that automatically just like, fuck yeah, dude, I'm gonna do this shit.
I FaceTimed his ass. FaceTime. I had signal right. He knows exactly. One more knows exactly where
dude.
I
was like, oh my God, you got, dude. This is fucking awesome.
But you're fighting people.
Oh,
and it discourages you. Hey, there's some motherfucker parked in my spot. Well, yeah.
Well,
that's worked in your favor though, huh?
Well,
because you
this.
moved, huh?
Right. And well, what he's talking about. So day one on opening day of 4th Rifle, I went to this spot, me and Seth, and we left by like 8 o'clock because there was people all around. You remember the video I put out, the Dipshit Chronicles? I killed that elk about 200 yards from where I took that video.
Yeah.
My point is, I hunted that morning. We didn't see nothing. We pulled out. We did other shit. I found a big, giant herd in an area where I couldn't quite shoot them, but they were awfully close, and I was hoping they'd kind of cross. But I went to get into that particular spot the next morning up on the whatchamacallit, and just so happened you know what I'm talking about. And just so happened at 4:45 in the morning, I see headlights pulling up there. I'm like, fuck. So I drive to this way deep spot down this road. And I get up, I ain't gonna lie, I kind of messed up. I get out the truck, it's 0 degrees, literally 0.
Yeah.
I get out and I look around. I'm like, fuck this. I get back in the truck and I drive to that easy spot. I was like, I hope they're in here. So I get out the truck because I ain't gonna lie to you. When I have a cow tag, don't get me wrong, I want to fill every tag that I have. But my ambition is not near as much as when I have a bull tag. Yeah. And that's just real shit. You know, maybe I'm the outlier, but I don't have near the ambition.
You're a hunter,
it's just being real, bro. You know,
it's just the way it is.
So, you know, I pulled back to that spot that I had to leave from prematurely 2 days before that. And I don't have a whole lot of hope, right? I kind of nap for like 20 minutes. I come to, sun's already coming up. I wasn't even up there at prime time. So I run up that hill. You know the hill. I ran up it in like 12 minutes. Boom, get to the top, looking off the backside. I don't see nothing but hunters. I'm like, fuck. Remember I told you I seen that big 3-point buck off the backside? So I look back at that hill where I seen that big buck and I see his does. And I'm like, he's got to be in here. I don't see the buck. But I look to the left and here comes elk wrapping around the mountain on private. And I'm like, holy shit, this is what I'm here for. But I'm like, shit, they're half a mile away. What are the odds? They start wrapping around, getting deeper into private, and they all stop. And you can tell, if you've been around elk long enough, you can kind of tell when they're uneasy. And they're all just real uneasy, spinning their ears. I'm like, what the hell's going on? All of a sudden, one starts jogging the other way. I'm like, oh, shit, that might be all right. They start running down the hill, so I reposition. And I'm in a burn. I'm standing in this fucking burn. And I stand there for 15 minutes without seeing them. So I'm literally about to leave. I'm like, what are the odds that they fucking come up on this fucking public? As I'm about to take a step, I look to the left and there's a doe. It looked like, you know how sometimes it looks like they're looking right at you, but they ain't? I'm like, fuck, she's looking right at me. Damn it. We have a stare down for like a minute. She starts feeding. I'm like, thank God. I instantly sit right down and I'm on a tree like a fifth of the size of my back. It's like this big. I just wanted something to be able to lean up against. All of a sudden, here comes another cow. And I'm looking. They're like 180 yards. I'm like, damn, these are small cows. Here comes big Cowzilla. Frontal. I'm like, oh, God. She's big. Kick the safety off. And she's feeding, looking at me. She'd feed and look up. Feed and look up. I'm like, please turn. As soon as she turned, boom, whack. Shooting a big 7mm rim mag. So, you know, when I shot, I get off target. And it's all cows and 2 spikes. So I shot, I knew I hit, but I didn't know which cow, right? Because I go off target and I'm like, I don't want to shoot again and shoot another cow. Boom, they go running everywhere. Well, they all ball up. One of them separates. So I look at her. She's looking towards me and doing the old sway. I'm like, that's her. Put another one in. I was just getting ready to shoot her again and she just tipped over. Just tipped right over. But I mean, it was because of, number one, it was because I glassed where I wanted to see that big buck again for no reason. I didn't have a tag. I just wanted to see him. Found the does. All of a sudden, here comes some elk. Something bumped them right onto the public. Here they come. Yeah. It just so happened to work out right. Now, I could have just left and been like, fuck, look at all these hunters. I'm going to leave. But I kind of just meandered up, glassed places I hadn't looked before, right? Which I'll say this about fucking one more. He's a glassing fucker. Like every 2 seconds, this motherfucker's pulling glass up. And for good reason. Because
what do you run? What kind of glass you run?
Zeiss.
Yeah. That was a good glass.
Yeah. But no, he glasses a ton and for good reason. Like, I kind of want to be like the animal. And for the most part, animals don't take many steps with no purpose. Does that make sense? Most of what they do is purposeful. Like they're not out there lollydicking around like, burr, 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 burr. Usually these animals, everything they do is for a purpose, right? Yeah. So like I try to think like that too. So like instead of bumblefucking for 200 yards not looking, how about walk 30 yards and look real quick? Especially when when we get in the timber, one more is, I mean, we'll go, you might think you see everything, but all it takes is ear flick. There's an ear right there. 100 fucking yards. There's an ear.
You got one more patience than me, dog. That's what it takes.
That happened to us.
That's what it takes.
I got a buddy from college, and he was actually a grad assistant coach, and one of his goals was to have his kids hunt. He's a Nebraska dude. He's from Ogallala. And his daughter's 14. I think his son's 16, 17. Mm-hmm. He said, I want one to hunt,
just so
hunt separate. So, yeah, so we can hunt separate. I'm like, that's cool. Let's take your daughter first.
Yeah.
So I take this 14-year-old girl out on public. We get in this situation. I'm like looking at all these tracks on this windswept ridge and wind's blowing. I'm like,
is that mile marker? Whatchamacallit?
Yeah,
oh, this is a nasty spot.
I'm like looking around.
This is a nasty spot.
These elk are here right now. And there's people, you can see people on different ridges and shit. And I look down and I'm like, shit, there's a bull right there. And I'm fucking around 89% of the time.
Yeah.
When I'm hunting, when I'm guiding, joking around, dicking around, making jokes. But that moment, I'm like, all right, let's go. Get this gun. Let's go. So I got this 14-year-old girl. We're stalking through the trees, and there's a bull feeding. and he's out of the wind, and he's just kind of feeding around and shit, dicking around. I'm like, can you get on him? And she's like, I can't get on him. I can see him with my naked eye. He's probably 150 yards. And so all of a sudden I'm like looking like this because he walks off, not spooked, and I'm looking, and I'm like, holy shit, there's a big ass bull laying there facing us.
Oh, really?
And I'm like, okay, spin to your right. I said, do you see? And this girl's never shot an animal in her life.
And she's in a hellhole.
She spins to the right, and she's looking at this bull, and she goes, that's a stump. I said, no, that's an elk. I said, just put the gun right on it and see if you can get on him. Well, this fucking thing stands up, dude. And I'm looking around these trees. There's 14 bulls, and they're just standing up everywhere. They're all legal bulls. God. And I'm like, holy shit. I'm like, and I go, just pick one out and shoot it. And she's doing this shit. She's like, I can't see. I don't even know. She's freaking out because she never shot before. Yeah. She's shot at range, but never an animal.
Yes. Yeah.
And so I wasn't pissed off. We're on public land. I'm like, chalk one up. We saw 14 fucking legal bulls in a public spot. First hour of the hunt. That was awesome. So I'm like, explaining to her, hey, this doesn't happen all that often. And I'm talking to her dad, and he's like, I'm just so excited. This is awesome. If we don't kill it, this has been enough. This is awesome. So we go walking out of there. We're about half mile from the truck. And I'm looking, I'm just kind of zoned. I'm always looking all the time. And I look over and I'm like, that looks like a deer. And I throw up my glasses. I'm like, fuck, that's a good buck. And she had a buck tag because she got a buck tag, but I made her dad. I was like, just buy the elk tag for $17 or whatever it is. So we have it. So I see this buck, and it's 400 and some yards. Girl, tell me, never shot past 100 yards. And so I get her set up on my gun, and I said, okay, now when you see, I said, put it right behind the shoulder and squeeze the trigger. She hits it. She hits it like 3 times. We go down, and we killed a buck. It was just an awesome experience. Yeah. It's not packing a fucking elk out.
Yeah.
But we saw 14 legal bulls.
Priceless,
we killed a deer in one day. And I asked her dad, Jake, and I said, do you want to go out again? He goes, man, that was the most awesome experience I've ever witnessed. Yep. And it's on public land. So it's all
define buck. Public land?
Hell yeah.
Come on.
So public land, I've learned to hunt public, and it is tough. I mean, you get pissed at people.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I shot a bull a few years ago with a buddy of mine. I walked up in one of my spots, and I see a dude standing in orange after I walk up there in the afternoon, sweating my ass to get all the way back in there.
You get up there, and then you fucking...
And I walk literally 15 yards from him, and I see him stand there, his rifle like this.
Oh, is this when you and Seth was out there?
Me and John.
Yeah, you and John.
I'm like, what the fuck? And he's like, he was all pissed off. I'm like, dude, we'll just go back up. It's like, fuck that guy. We'll just go back up the draw. We literally walk 100 yards. I see a 6-point bull with 10 cows come out. And I got a bull tag. He's got a bull tag. And I'm like, you want to shoot that? Because he's from out of state. And he goes,
fuck yeah.
Dude, if you want to shoot it, go ahead. And I'm like, well, fuck yeah, I'm going to shoot it. Shot this bull. And I'm sure that guy that was 150 yards down the hill shit his pants. Yeah. He didn't even know those elk were there.
No.
But you just got to outsmart the other guys.
Yeah, it's tough, but like, I don't know. You're different. You're different. You're good. You put patience, you glass, you do it,
But you could do that too.
We got to talk about the sheep too real quick, man. So this whole sheep story was nuts, man. Right? Like just being able to accompany somebody on a Rocky Mountain Bighorn sheep hunt is incredible, right? For anybody that just is in love with hunting like we are, like there's something about being able to put your hands on a sheep or even just glass them, right? Yeah. And know that somebody has a tag. Well, I'm already in the woods by myself. I'm spiked in by myself hunting cow elk alone on this fucking mountain. And he told me like weeks before, he's like, hey, Chad's got tagged, this and that. I'm like, cool. I was like, I'm gonna be pretty focused in on these elk. Well, I end up missing day one at 8:30 in the freaking morning. He came out for like a couple hours with me, and we go up there and we don't get into nothing. 10 minutes after he leaves me, because he had to go somewhere, I shoot 10 minutes after he leaves.
Really?
Yeah, I had a deflection. I'm pretty sure I told you about it. Anyway, He's like, hey man, we're gonna go here. I don't know if you're interested. This is on an inReach. I don't have no. We're talking on an inReach. He's like, we're gonna go up there, and I'm like, I'm laying in my tent midday, like beat to fuck already. I'm like, fuck. I was like, send me a pen. He sent me the pen. I fucking exfiltrate. Okay, that's a good word for it. Exfil. I exfil out of there. Drive. I don't know, an hour or so to this spot. Walk up above tree line. Walk all the way fucking in there. Shoot a little video or whatever. And I've got a cow tag, which is OTC cow tag, so I can still hunt this. It's a different unit, but I can still hunt it. So I'm like, this will be great. I'll have my bow with me just in case we run across the cow elk, and I hopefully get to watch a sheep getting shot, with the priority being the sheep. So I go in there the first day. I got in there by midday. Remember, I was in there pretty early, so I hunted. So the first day, I did 8.2 miles and 4,200 feet of vertical gain. In the first day, in the first day, dog, as a 285 anyway. So we get in there, and one more will have to help me with it. But we get in there, and the first night that I get in there is the day before the opener. So we're just scouting. We can't hunt or anything. And we met up at camp, and they went and tried to find the ram. So we were set up for the next day. And I went and dropped looking for elk. Didn't find no elk, found a shooter deer. Guy that missed with the muzzleloader a couple years before, he had a deer tag, and I sent him a video right from the trail, like a 140 buck laid right off the trail, just staring at me. I'm like, hey, here's a pen, blah blah blah. He didn't go in there because there's some big deer in this particular area. But anyway, we get hunting, and the next morning we get in there, and it looks like Lord of the Rings. We're on top of the earth. We cannot find the sheep. We're like, what the fuck's going on? So we're like in this sketchy stuff, and we're finding beds, real fresh beds. Tracks, really super fresh poop. So like, they fucking have to be somewhere. We get to looking around, and I saw that look on one more's face. I was like, he fucking sees them. We walked past those rams. It was so steep. We walked around them and didn't know they were there because they were tucked up in the cirque.
Yeah.
So we swing around, and we're like, holy shit, there they are. So we got to backtrack, climb back up the shit, do this gnarly, super steep rock, the shale fields, like super loose rocks, like literally sheep hunting, dog, right? Like sheep hunting. You've been on a mountain goat hunt, you already know. So, I mean, we're walking through all this stuff, and we go to get set up, and I have video of all this stuff. The sheep are big band of rams, the same band of rams that the guys had found scouting. And there's one absolute giant. Absolutely just a beautiful broomed off sheep. One more, take it away. I brought them to, after we found those beds, remember we walked past them and you glassed back. We're like, what the fuck? We walked past them, had to circle around. Take it away from when we were getting set up on those sheep.
So is this where after we found the beds and we came around that little knoll?
Yep.
So yeah, we look across and we noticed we walked right past these damn sheep.
Cool. And when I say we walked past them, I mean we walked past them.
Really? Along cliffs and shit. We walked right above them, come back up, and there's four of us. And so Josh and I are kind of calling shots. Hey, come down here. We can shoot from here. And I'm like, we're going to shoot from this little bench. Perfect flat bench. Mm-hmm. He lays that gun down.
Beautiful morning, wasn't it? Oh my goodness, gorgeous morning.
Scrolls that scope or dials it up, and all of a sudden I'm like, okay, just because I'm in guide mode. I'm like, even though I've known this guy forever,
yeah.
I'm like, okay, just squeeze the trigger. I'm like, okay, shot over him. I'm like, just hang on.
I was like, far right ram. He's far right ram, because it's it's what 7, 8 of them.
Yeah,
however many. I said it's far right ram because there's one. I don't know how much Chad, I'm imagining that he put in a bunch and he knew what's a big one and what isn't, but I just want to make sure we're all lined up. I'm like, far right ram.
So he shoots, misses, shoots again, misses. I don't know. He shot quite a few times.
Shot 7 times before he killed that ram.
So it was probably the 6th or 7th shot. He goes to shoot and he's 20 feet high because my scope, I won't say the manufacturer, didn't have zero stop.
Oh, what?
So instead of going back to 0, he went all the way to 0, and I said dialed up to 11. Well, he went up to 11 again, and that thing was like 25 yards high.
Literally, you can see the report.
We're up there, and I'm yelling at him, and I didn't know his ass would like video, and I'm like, God damn it, we didn't get our shit together calm down.
Well, first off, let's be real. The exact verbiage was Cody goes, fuck, I think you turned the turret the wrong way. He goes, no way. He goes, well, fuck, you're 25 foot high. Yeah, you did. It's like you turned the damn scope the wrong way.
So, I mean, it was just a mechanical error then.
Yeah, it was him.
It was him. It wasn't mechanical. It was his ass.
It's like the old locker, the whole high school locks. He went to 0 and then went all the way
Mm-hmm.
up again. Shot so high, and I'm kind of pissed. I'm like, man, I know this is once in a lifetime, and I got to go. I want to see him kill sheep.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so we get up to the top of the mountain, kind of a lull, and we're like, shit, these things, we're at 11, 12,000 feet. So they went up over this ridge, and I'm like, shit, man, what are we going to do now? And we're looking down this drainage. And if anybody out there has been at 11, 12,000 feet, those mountains are pretty narrow and they're pretty steep at the top.
And that rock's mighty loose.
And so when you're looking down and you can glass, 1,000 yards in one basin, you're like, shit, they're not here, obviously.
Yeah.
But we got to go another 3/4 of a mile to the next basin. So we're hauling ass. We're like running down the top of this ridge.
Kind of a serious moment, right?
Yeah.
This is a once in a lifetime deal. I mean, you were the same way. Like it wasn't funny. It wasn't, it wasn't loose. It was, goddamn, we got to do this because this is his only time.
Two?
At this point,
7 times.
At this point, he was only like 3 or 4 misses in.
Well, yeah,
But-
okay, 7
yeah.
total.
Yeah.
Okay, so 3 or 4.
Fuck.
Sorry, but the numbers
Bro.
get messed up. But so we haul ass about 3/4 mile down the ridge, and we see all these rams coming up, and it was me and Chad,
Mhm.
and then you went down the other side of the ridge. So it's like a knife ridge. It's about 20 feet tall at the top and straight out both sides. So we're on the right hand side, me and Chad. Seth's kind of back, and Josh ran down to see if they're coming off the left hand side. And so all of a sudden, rams are coming out, and I'm like, here they are. They're 250 yards. Now we're in the game.
I
man. This
thought
is
it was it. I thought this was it.
Yeah.
So he gets lined up, and I'm like, what the fuck? You shot over? Like,
I was like,
4
high.
feet
You're high, buddy. You're high.
He shoots again. Well, they come running towards us. Well, these sheep go to our left over this knife ridge where
Mhm.
you can't see over and go out of sight. And I'm like, I don't think they're going to run back towards camp. I don't know where they're going to go. So I stayed in the same spot. Well, these sheep made a huge circle all the way back behind us. And so I turn around and he's with Chad, and I'm glassing these things, and I hear, and I see one standing up there like rocking his ass against this cliff. And I'm like, you must have fucking hit son of a bitch. And I'm like,
What?
I'm
Bro,
like,
this shit was nuts.
and I'm like, you must
dog.
have hit him, And I'm like, I think the one by itself, you hit that one. He's like, which one? I'm like, the one that's got his ass against the rock. He's like doing
Trying to
this
stop the
shit.
bleeding.
Bro,
Yeah.
this was nuts.
So he shoots again and knocks it down. And my dumb ass, I've been around, and I speak the truth a lot.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, you didn't shoot the fucking big one. and he's yelling at me from 400. He's like, are you serious? I'm like, well, the big one's right. And I'm like yelling at
On the
this
video,
dude.
y'all got to watch it. It's called Shootout in the Circus on YouTube. Cody's like, no, it wasn't the big one. The big one went out like this right here.
Yeah.
He was just
I was
running.
like-
He's like, no,
He went out
big."
like this. He goes, are you serious? Like, once in a lifetime deal.
Yeah.
This kid's like, I just killed a ram.
How old
and I'm
was he?
thinking,
He's probably 40.
yeah, he's 5
So
or 4 or
there's
5.
you're saying there's a chance.
And I said, hey man, you shot the wrong ram. So he's excited at the same time. And looking back, I shouldn't have said it.
Yeah,
but you know what?
You
I
got to
don't
tell
give a
because
shit.
there was a bigger one out there. But guess
2
what?
bigger ones. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Here's
yeah.
the thing. Here's the thing. When you miss that many times, you just want to shoot one. Though
Mhm.
Yeah.
I'm being for real, right?
I get it, but it's the first day of the hunt.
It was
Oh,
the first
It was
day,
a drop
man.
in the
man.
bucket.
And we're talking sheep here. We're not talking deer, elk, where you can do it every year.
First
We're
day of
talking
the
about
hunt,
sheep, bro.
And they're out there in Colorado that go on a sheep hunt and never see a sheep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
So it's kind of like
Spend
Hey,
2
man.
weeks trying to find one before the season. Don't even.
we have a whole bunch right here, right by camp, within
We know.
a couple miles, and we're good.
I think that's what the big reason why I was like, fuck yeah, I'll come. Because they were like, dude, they found the Rams. I was like, oh, they found some?
Yeah,
Fuck,
because
I'll
those
go.
are. I mean, that's the part of doing it. Finding those rams.
Mhm.
But that's something good to know. That's cool, Cody. Because, I guess, what all like species have you guided?
Pretty much everything in Colorado.
Yeah,
Everything. The
dude. So moose.
Moose hunts are fun.
That's one thing I want to do. I want to do it because, one, I love the animal.
Yep.
I love how they eat too. And dude, they're such a huge animal, and I just want to shoot with my bow.
Do you have any points?
I do. I've been fucking putting in.
How many points do you have?
I want to say like 8.
How many sheep points do you have?
7, 6.
Look you up.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say the unit. Over
Yeah. What's up?
No, I mean sheep. Like out of everything, I love hunting moose.
Don't be giving away that daggone unit now.
Now you guys are gonna be. You guys are gonna be competing.
Don't be giving away the freaking unit.
I'm not.
Hey,
I'm gonna tell Luke.
He fucking.
Oh, okay.
He fucking let you fucking get a fucking open.
Let me
space
what? Come
tag.
help fucking pack a sheep off the mountain?
No, open space fucking tag.
What's that got to do with shit?
He's just giving me.
Hey man, I didn't draw that shit either. No,
That's what I'm
so,
saying.
so Luke, I'm all about opportunity, like seeing people be successful. I really.
He's not
and
joking about that.
And Josh will tell you.
Yeah.
What the fuck, man? You like, I got a friend that lives in Grand County.
Uh-huh.
Me and him hunt together. We've hunted together forever, known each other forever. He's a great hunter. One of the dudes that I can sit there with, and it's like a mirror image.
Yeah.
Hey, if you're covering this 180, I got this one. I don't have to worry about you
because it's covered.
It's gonna be, and we think the same.
And
so
when it's time to go, that guy he's talking about is ready to roll. You ain't got to help. Ain't no carrying him. He's ready to roll.
Yeah, and it's like it's awesome hunting with him. So he gets all pissed off, oh well, you took some guy into one of my spots, and I'm like, it was my fucking spot. I don't give a shit. And he's like, well, you always give up these spots. And like I told Josh, I'm like, sometimes you got I'm mid 40s.
Yeah.
Sometimes you got to pass this shit on.
I'm 44.
Because I'm too. But if you don't, what I'm saying is, if you don't pass it on, then who's going to give a shit about it? Who's going to be successful? Who's going to want to do
this
it?
motherfucker ain't gonna pass shit on, dog.
So first off, I'm a lot more stingy for sure when it comes to spots. But he brings up a good point, and it's like, fact of the matter is this: you can tell somebody exactly where to go. It don't mean they're going to go in there and kill shit.
That's exactly right.
Don't mean they're going to go in there and kill shit.
Yeah, that's facts right there, especially on public land. Like, yeah, for real. Let's keep that real right there. Like, you can sugarcoat it, and vice versa. Might be private land too.
Yeah, it might be private land, and people know you can throw a guy that's been out there, a guy that 300 elk, and he's probably not going to kill shit because he doesn't know how. Or you can throw a guy in public with 20 other hunters in the same place with 5 elk, and that guy find him.
Yeah,
because he's hunted it. He knows how it goes.
Yeah, I would definitely say that. That's very fucking true.
Well, like for instance, we went on when we hunted muzzleloader. I guess it's been 2023. We hunted muzzleloader. I mean, you know us both well enough now. Like, we covered some ground in 9 days. I cocked the hammer back one time, meaning you got 2 guys, especially him, who's hunted this place and it's like we just could not get an opportunity. Now, we ran into elk. Would you say probably most days we at least saw them? But man, I hate to use it as an excuse, but they were not fucking talking. Yeah. And, you get to going through that, public land elk especially. Well, fuck, elk or elk. It doesn't make a fucking which side of the fence they're on, right? But the ones that do happen to live most of their life on public, it seems like, man, they are scared of their own fucking shadow. I mean, the one time I caught my hammerback, it was maybe the second day of season. We're walking through this north-facing ridge, super dark timber, and the woods just erupts all of a sudden. Cocked the hammerback. I knew what it was just by how loud it was. I was like, these are elk. And flashes of elk went everywhere. But that was it. We don't know where and then the opening day, I think it was, we go to this ridge. I would locate every so often. And finally, I blow this beautiful locator off this ridge. Instantly. Get a response. But what he was doing, he rounded up his cows when he heard that fucker, and he went up and over. When I tell you, we were in correct me if I'm wrong, we was in a spot. Like
he wanted nothing to do with it.
Where we went, there was not a trail. We blazed from the truck to where we camped in the fucking woods. and we hunted. There was no trail in sight. So, like, we hunted the backside of this mountain, and we had it all to ourselves. Correct me if I'm wrong. When we got on that backside, there wasn't, because ain't nobody dumb enough to fucking go up over the bitch, because it's stupid. But we're up in there, and we're fucking in these elk. But just because they're there don't mean you're going to fucking kill them.
Yep. I mean, you're possibly talking about the worst elk cutter there is on the planet.
So you still want to hunt moose as your number one?
Ooh.
I love moose. I want to hunt a moose.
Tell him the story about that bull you was drawn back on and you couldn't get calmed down.
Oh, yeah. So I got a little spot up here.
Did you get scared?
Right. Hey, look at it. Hey. Bro, we had Nestor in his ear. Don't shoot that 330 heat. Go ahead.
So
man.
I have a spot up here, 10 minutes away. And I hunt it every day because it's good when they're there, and when it's shit, right? So, like, I made like a Taj Mahal there, you know, I can bring my kids in there and I just get them out, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we have fun. They can fucking fuck around. But I was there all morning and like fucking finally like 12 o'clock, Marcus goes, Dad, I'm hungry. And I was like, yeah, we ate all the snacks. Weird. All right, let's go get some fucking food, right? So we go, I'm going home. Swear to God. Landowner goes, sure do hope you're in the blind. And I said, are you fucking kidding me? And he goes, yeah, dude, there's a shitload of them out there. I just left to get lunch. He goes, dude, there's a whole bunch of them there. And I'm pissed. So I come back around. I call Nestor because I knew he just messaged me. He's like, hey, I got to go Big R get dog food. And Big R's right down here. And I was like, hey, meet me in my spot. I might need you to call for me. Because there's no way in hell I'm getting in the blind and whatever. And sure shit, dude, right there in the fucking valley, I got this fucking.
So that bull is in the field.
I got the satellite bull.
God.
There's probably 30 cows, and this satellite bull comes out and he's 60 yards from me and Nestor right there talking, and I'm like knocked up. And you know, I hear these elk fucking bulls screaming and everything. 1 o'clock in the afternoon. And I drew back, and he goes, no, what are you doing?
now you can hear it now.
Yeah.
Dude, why would you jump back on that bull?
So that was a 60-yard bull.
And how big was this bull?
330, maybe 340. I'm horrible with it, right? I'm usually go smaller than bigger, right? Satellite bull, though, it's bigger than the bull that I've ever shot in my life, right? Because all I've shot is dinks, right? Like rags. And I'm cool, collected at that point, right? Like, ready to hammer it and fucking, you know, go do work. So he's like, no, we're going in there. So we go up, and I'm like, okay, cool. Let's go. Sure shit, I will give him this. We got right in the fucking middle of them. Fucking elk are fucking running by us, cows and shit, and I'm huddling. And sure shit, this fucking bull fucking screams. I mean, it's a big motherfucker. Biggest bull that I've ever seen alive to me.
Probably something like that one that you killed. Maybe a little smaller.
Bigger.
Bigger.
Always.
So I finally get it. It's like fucking probably like 50 yards away, 45 yards. I think he goes like 47, right? And I fucking I fucking have a window like probably as big as the garage door. I'm not exaggerating. It's probably a window, it's a garage door, but it was in the trees, right? And there was some branches here and there. And I drew back. I didn't even focus on the fucking pins, bro. Like, I'm like, oh.
Just all of them. That's when you focus on all of them.
Put them all on it.
And I was like, oh my God. And I let down. He goes, what are you doing?
What the fuck are you doing?
He goes, what are you doing? And I said, ain't got a shot.
Fucking unbelievable. Make a shot. Fucking unbelievable. Make it work.
He goes, it's right here. And I said, he grabbed my shoulders like a little kid, right? And and I'm like, oh yeah, way better. Fuck, dude. I was a bitch, right? So I drew back again. I'm like, how far? And he goes, it hasn't fucking moved.
That's when you're trying to be quiet and stern at the same time.
But there's elk going everywhere.
Motherfucker.
Yeah, dude, there's elk. It's crazy, right? Like, I might even got clipped by a couple of elk, right? And I draw back. It's this. I'm not trying to knock my fucking jaw loose, dude. I can't. I'm like this. And he's like, what the fuck is wrong with you? I said, dude, I've never had this feeling before.
Pressure.
Bro, in fact, it was the best fucking feeling I ever had.
How cool is that, man?
It was the best thing. And like, yes, I could have took the shot. It would have been a good shot, though. You know what I mean? It was like September 9th. September 8th.
I think that took nuts for him to let down like that, though, when it's like you got this thing in front of you.
I would have probably let it fly.
That's what I'm saying. To have him,
you know,
to be able to have the wherewithal to let down.
Dude, and here's why, because it was so early in September.
I'll kill him in a couple days.
This is my shit, right? I'm like, I'm not gonna fucking wound it. Go to fuck my neighbor's property that I can't fucking hunt on. You know, I was like, dude, come on. I was like, dude, this is fucking nuts. I'm literally like this. And I was like, I can't do it, dude. I literally can't. I'm a bitch. He's like, scoot around. And finally they broke off, right? But I'm sorry, dude. I can't fuck this shop. I'll be back here tomorrow. It's going to be here again. Those motherfuckers have showed up again.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean? That's on me. I didn't fucking want to shoot a wounded, you know,
that's okay.
Or have it kill it on somebody's property, and they never know, and they never let me on it. You know what I mean?
This one, but what, 2-3 years ago? If that gaggone thing's still alive, my
he's still
God,
alive. He's still alive.
I hope you're right, and I hope you kill him because he would be a freak.
No,
He might be a piece of shit at this point. Big palmated main beams about that long, like that freaking thing.
he's a dinosaur, bro.
God,
I mean, don't get me wrong. I've shot a couple elk, but they've been rags, and you get that feeling, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like that.
You still do with a rag
Yeah,
or a cow.
Yeah.
If I don't feel it,
I could barely even pull the bow
but-
back when I was bow hunting. I was like, you get an elk within, or a deer, whatever
It
it is,
don't
within
matter
10,
what it
15
is.
yards, you're
Well, dude, I used to think I was like big time bow hunter when I got out. I killed this every tag in my pocket. So I went to Idaho and a spring bear hunt, Hell's Canyon. Went up there, tried to bow hunt. Next day coming in, I was like, all right, give me the rifle. I gotta shoot a fucking bear, man. I want to have something to bring home my daughter for her being born. I wanted to give her first teddy bear, you know.
a real one,
a real rug, you know. I swear to God. And so, you know, we went out and finally got, 100 yards to the deal. Dude, I'm so fucking lucky. It was my first bear I ever killed. That I was, and you can go over bait, liquid smoke and shit,
liquid smoke.
Back, you remember back in the
liquid smoke,
I know
that's what they were doing in fucking, and dude, I was like 20 yards from that bait, right? And dude, if that would have came in at that fucking range, I would have shit my pants. I swear to God, there's no way I'm shooting with my bow. I swear to God, because at 100 yards, that motherfucker came in. I'm with my rifle, and I'm shaking like a bitch, bro.
Something about bow hunting.
Oh, dude, I'm like, I'm so. I didn't try to. I would have fucking died. You know what I mean?
So cool. It does make you nervous when you're bow hunting.
Well, even that deer I killed off of your stuff, like, it was awesome because I figured where these deer was going to cross. I put my stand up, and lo and behold, I was about to leave. I swear to God. And I look over with the old SIG image stabilizers, and here he comes, stiff-legged, walking up the riverbank. I'm like, holy shit, he's going to cross. Lose sight of him for 5 minutes. All of a sudden, here comes his rat. He looks both ways down the river. I lose sight for about 40 seconds. He climbs up and shakes off. I'm at full draw. I'm like, he's going to come right exactly where I thought, and he did. And like, I literally was talking to myself, and I'm like, come on, pussy. Because I remember I'm like, come on, pussy. I'm like, he ain't even that big. I'm talking to myself. I'm like, come on, pussy. He ain't even that big. And I just remember taking a big, deep breath, and I was like, bah. And he didn't pay no attention. I'm like, bah. Look right up at me. Whack. And I hit him, and as soon as I hit him, I don't know, I didn't tell you this. As soon as I hit him, I knew he was smoked. Before I didn't even pay no. I grabbed my phone. I was like, just smoked one, and I told you, and I just watched him. But as soon as I hit him, my phone was in. It was a double man ladder. My phone was right beside me. I picked up. I said, I just smoked one, and I watched him. He went about 60 yards.
You just pulled the Ronnie old Cuz Strickland.
Old Cuz Strickland.
Yeah,
Have you listened to Cuz's podcast,
Strickland.
by the way? Shout out to Cuz Strickland. He's got a podcast called Fistful of Dirt, and he dives in very deep to the land management side of things, which I think is very cool. And, you know, Cuz he started the whole turkey thug thing, right? So, you know, I love turkeys, so they get to talking turkey a lot. But I really look up to Cuz because he's a pioneer in the industry, man. He walks so everybody can run, like him and Toxie Hayes and Will Primos. Those guys paved the way when it comes to, you know, camera, outdoors, that type of thing, especially in my region growing up. Toxie and Cuz Strickland and Phil Robertson and all those guys, they kind of paved the way, man.
Oh, yeah. Turkey thugs.
Turkey thugs, man. Too. Yeah.
Fucking me, my brother, and fucking Kyle.
Yeah, I wouldn't shoot no daggone. If it's got feathers, he just is above it. He turns his nose to it. Him and Nestor.
What's up with that?
I don't understand.
They're
too
a Nebraska
good.
guy
They're too
too.
good.
Flat with geese.
Turkeys good.
Turkeys are good. Turkeys are fun. Like I was until you get in the ticks.
You're scared. Are you gonna?
You got to come with me and hunt some different turkeys because these turkeys are fun, but until you hunt them ones that rattle,
I've done that. I'm Wellfleet, Nebraska.
That ain't Easterns.
What do we?
You got Merriam's in the far left and Rios.
Eastern.
There's Easterns way in the east.
North Platte too.
Okay.
Yeah. And fucking Mr.
I want to see you with a show me a daggone Eastern.
So, we didn't have Polaroid.
So wait. Back to Moose story.
Oh yeah,
you were around moose.
Yeah, not hunting them, but yeah, been around them. Remember,
I got a neighbor. I got a neighbor for a moose.
Yeah. That moose hunting's fun. I mean,
I had a blast. We were in them every day.
Fuck you, he's got a big one living, or used to live about a half a mile away.
So we'd call them. We would, go into a spot where we knew moose were on private or public, and call and shit, and they'd come raking their trees. Just cool animals.
Yeah.
And one of the last ones we killed, that was with Seth. We were up above Fraser, and guiding this hunter. He was from Wyoming, and Shiras moose in Colorado, hard to draw a tag. And this guy calls, and I'm gonna do it on my own. One of those guys.
Yeah.
And every moose hunter I've ever dealt with out there, I'm gonna do it on my own because they're all over. Okay, do it on your own, and then 3 or 4 days in the hunt, they'll call you and be like, "Hey, can we pay that guided price? But can we discount it?" I'm like, "Dude, really?" At the beginning, I was like, "Yeah, we'll do it," but then at the end, I'm like, "Pay the full price." I really don't care because they're like, "What's the success rate?" And I'm like, 99.9%. Same thing with elk. When
I ain't gonna say 100, we'll say 99.
Because 99.1. Why you do that?
Give yourself some cushion.
You might be the guy.
You might be
that fucks up.
The outlier.
So
that's
guy,
true though. That's good. Yeah, that's good.
And this guy's on a moose hunt, and we're up above Fraser, and we're calling, and this guy's looking at us like these guys don't know what the fuck they're doing. 2 hours later, it's like 65 degrees in October, nice day out. We're laying underneath these trees, and I'd call about every 10 minutes, and all of a sudden here, and breaking shit, and I'm like, all right, dude, get ready. And he looks at this big ass bull, and it comes out in this opening, just perfect, breaking shit, steps out, and he's shooting a 6.5 284, like one of the Wildcat, back, and hits this thing, humps up. I'm like, well, shoot again. He shoots like 3 or 4 times, knocks this thing down. Well, we go to work, Seth and I do, and the guy's like, well, it's not going to make Boone and Crockett, and I've already shot at Boone and Crockett. And
Cry me a river, bud.
Well, sorry, man. I don't
Cry
know
me
what
a river,
to tell
bud.
you. You're close, but sorry, didn't make it. And we didn't even have made it. The guy was just, just a dickhead.
Yeah.
And so we get this moose all quartered up, and we're on our first roll out of there, and it's like marshy and ponds and shit and openings. And so we get this thing back to the truck. Well, it gets dark. It's getting dark. Well, it's 65 degrees in the day. We'll drop down to like 0.
Yeah.
And it's dark. Dude sits in the truck. we go walking back out, and Seth's like, I got my GPS. We'll be fine.
Oh, I know where this.
And all of a sudden, that motherfucker froze up, ran out of batteries. And we're walking around in snow, and it's 0 degrees out, and we don't have like heavy shit on because we're here to pack moose out. And I'm like,
oh fuck,
dude, it's getting cold, man. And I'm like, I don't think I'm like, we'll just follow our tracks. Well, there were so many people tracks up there from people just recreating. We're just walking around in circles for like 2 or 3 hours. And I'm like, I hate to admit it, but I think we're lost.
Yeah.
And he goes, well, I wasn't going to tell you either, but I think we're lost too.
Yeah.
And you don't panic because I always carry a lighter and shit, minimum. But I'm like, the fuck are we going to do? We got this dude in the truck. He's got part of a moose in the truck. He doesn't have a care in the world.
Yeah.
So we start walking around. Well, an hour and a half later, we finally find the truck because we're spun around at that point. You don't even know which way. It's pitch black. So we find our way back to the truck. Dude's sitting in the truck with the radio on, heater on, and the fucking thing running. And I look at him, and we've been out there for a long time at this point. And I said, hey, man, we got lost. He goes, where you guys been? I'm like, we got lost.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, I didn't know you got lost. You guys okay? And I said, if somebody's lost out in the woods and it's pitch black out, and we're an hour from the truck and it takes 3.5 hours, at least do something, honk the horn, something. And he's like, yeah, I never thought of that. But just total dick.
Shoot the gun 3 times, something.
The whole time. Went back next morning, packed this thing out. I was like, this dude's an asshole.
Yeah.
But the moose tip, now that, so same situation. This dude has a cow moose tag. And the way we used to do it on the ranch, we had a bunch of moose. We'd say, okay, if you're in state, we'll charge you, at that time it was like $1,500 for a bull and $500 for a cow.
Yeah.
And pretty much 100. You're guaranteed you're going to shoot something.
You're going to get it out, or a moose.
A moose. And so
dream come true.
Yeah.
Right there. I mean, like I said, it's not about me. I'm not a trophy hunter, so I guess I'm different.
It's cheap, $1,500.
Yeah, you ain't getting that shit anywhere.
And you get guided, and the guy will gut the thing and throw it at the back of your truck.
You know how big those?
And so this dude's like, he'd call me every day. He'd be like, well, I haven't seen any moose. I got a cow tag. I'm like, man, I told you $500, dude. He goes, well, I'm a school teacher from Netherlands and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, whatever.
He didn't pay you?
Second to last day. He calls me up. Now listen, he calls me up and he goes, hey man, I've been hunting for 8 days hard and I haven't seen a moose. And I'm like, well, come out in the morning, Sunday morning, last day. He goes, well, I don't know if I want to pay you the $500 up front because if we don't shoot something, I lose $500. And I'm like, fine, I'll take the risk. I'll take you out. It's going to cost you $500 if we kill one. He's like, okay, fair deal. And I'm like, fuck this guy. So we get up in the morning. Moose hunting's not like elk hunting. Wait for first light, go cruise around, find a moose on this private ranch. Well, I find this group of moose, a couple cows and a calf and a bull. And I'm like, all right, there's the cow. And so we follow her all the way up this drainage. He shoots this thing in the head, fucking whacks it. And I'm like, oh, Jesus, it's going to be a mess, And I'm like, okay, well, at least it's $500, whatever.
Yeah.
Deal's done. So the guy has a hard time cutting me this check for $500.
Yeah.
Well, we only hunted for an hour. I'm like, dude, it's $500. And he goes, well, my buddy lives over on the outside of the ranch, outskirts of the ranch. I said, all right, what do you want me to do? And he goes, well, can you haul it over there? And I'm like, sure, I'll haul it over there. So I load this fucker by myself. The
whole elk or the whole moose
in the back of my truck, drive all the way around the ranch. He's got a winch in his dude's garage. I winch this fucker up and I'm about ready to leave. And he goes, we'd never skinned anything this big. And I'm like, fuck, man, here we go. I'm like,
you are fucking too nice,
it'd take me 30 minutes to do this.
It's the same thing as everything else, just bigger.
So I skinned this bitch down 30 minutes. And I said, there he is. Well, I got to take it back to Denver. This keeps going. And he's like, and I'm like, he goes, we don't know how to quarter him. And I'm like, dude, I'll quarter it
Joints
out.
are the
So,
same daggone thing.
What was he gonna do by himself, bro?
so another hour goes by. So I quartered this thing out, got the back straps cut out. There's no shit. And he cuts, there's back straps. I cut the loins out, cut all 4 quarters, throw it in the back of his truck.
Jesus.
Mind you, I still ain't got the $500. It's not mine. It's for the outfitting business. And he cuts a piece of the back strap off. Like I said, about the piece of that beer bottle. He throws it to me and he goes, "Hey kid, there's your tip." And I'm like, because he goes, "I'll tip you some moose meat." And I'm thinking, oh, front quarter, something, back strap, something. He throws me a piece.
That'd be more realistic right there.
He throws a piece.
I could, okay.
Yeah, it'd be fine. He throws me a piece of fucking moose meat this big. I grab it in my hand. I don't have anything to put it in. And I grab like a plastic garbage bag and I'm like, "Hey man, have a good day."
So dinner for him and his old lady, Max. Like
wrap
what?
Wrap it up and leave.
What the fuck, dude? Here's the thing. If I get a moose tag, goat tag, ram tag, anything that I'm not used to, obviously I know people now, but I'm going to go out and I want to do it right. And I want to be legal. I want to fucking do everything, smooth and have the best experience I have. I know it's going to cost me money to do this because if I can't do it, especially a fucking moose, I don't want to do all that work. I got to have a team.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And I got a couple guys for the fighters that just do it, and I'll break them off a lot of meat because that's what they want to do. They want the meat too, but I am going to pay for the fucking man's experience, not the service. Oh, maybe I wasn't. I thought of Joe Jerry. You got to pay for the man's experience, not a fucking. It's like the hours or whatever.
Yeah,
you do. But at the same time, in your case, when you knock it out of the way, you didn't see fucking moose for fucking. Come on, you get him opening morning, you get the shot last day. It's either fucking you're gonna get one or you're not, motherfucker. Pay up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Simple.
Yeah, I think it would have reached a little deeper in my pocket to say, "Hey, this dude worked his nuts."
Common sense, right?
Or give a front quarter.
Dude, I have done that because I tell my wife, "Hey man, I got to give this much at least a tip. I got a couple extra $100. I'm gonna give him." Dude, I had the best experience shooting.
New Mexico?
No.
Oh, the scimitar
on a private ranch, right? Because you can't shoot those here, right?
Mm-hmm.
Anywhere. And a thing, and it was a fucking private ranch, high fence deal. It was just a fucking experience that I had. I went there to hunt with some vets, and Justin was gonna shoot a black buck. And I'm seeing, cool animals that I've never seen before. And Justin had the best time of his life. We shot one right away, and he's like, "You want to shoot one?" And I said, "Nah, man, I'd rather shoot one of those motherfuckers over there." And he goes, "How much are those?" And I think it was like $3,500.
Mm-hmm.
And he goes, and I had money put away for a black buck that I was going to do, but he shot the biggest one there, the black one I wanted to shoot. And I was like, "Nah, I'm good, And then, I had the best time of my life hunting. And he's like, "Fuck it, let's I'll pay for it. You shoot it. You just, you mount it, you pay for the taxidermy and the meat and the tip." And I was like, "Are you serious?" He goes, "Yeah, Lenny, it's a gift." He just fought one. And these vets were like, "Do it, dude, do it." And I was like, "Yeah." So
all jacked up, having a good time.
This guy was like, "Oh shit, I'll tell you what, man, I'm gonna knock $1,000 off if you really want to shoot this." And I was like, "What?" Dude, I gave him the full fucking price that I was.
Well, yeah, you got to make up for that.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like because he gave me an opportunity, and I was gonna spend it on the fucking black buck anyways,
Mm-hmm.
and I fucking got to shoot one of those bitches, and I was like, and it was more like me and Justin we fucking did the old Comanche sneak on these motherfuckers, and they all look alike to me. And he's like, "The one in the middle." I'm like, "You dumb fuck, they all look alike, dude." And then he was like, "The one with the yellow tag."
His name's Clyde. Come here, Clyde.
you need to come hunt with Josh and I. Like, we need to do one hunt.
Yeah.
Like a real.
Seriously,
and you know what? Here's like
we could do it cushy and do it out the condo.
The older I get, I mean, it's not really about for me, it's not really about killing shit.
It's
about
the
hanging out
camaraderie,
with
dude.
dudes
The
and
story.
drinking.
You know how many
Who
times
you share that hunt with?
That's it.
Yeah.
I come back here and we talk about it. Like, to me, that's just. I think that's why I like more about podcasting, because I could talk about it. It's cheaper, obviously, than filming it, and that's a whole different fucking ball game. But it was when I was filming all my hunts and shit. It was like not fun anymore.
It's pressure.
Yeah, it
you gotta
fun.
get it.
Yeah,
done.
it was like, it wasn't fun for me. And then when hunting was not fun for me anymore, that's when I said, dude, I gotta stop this, because, thank God for podcasts now.
Well, then we ought to do the spring bear then, or if not spring bear, we ought to set up something in Texas this spring when there ain't nothing to do.
I want to go shoot. I want to shoot some pigs right away, dog.
Set something up.
We should go down to Maroney's.
Yeah. Oh, dog, the way you described that.
Let's go.
Did you show him the access?
No, I ain't showed him that. My God.
So Weisinger, he's good. Well, my old business partner, I've talked about him a couple times. He lives down in Texas. His friend Maroney Randall.
He's the one that.
He's come elk hunting with us. Well, he's got some little bit of property, acres. That's it. Down there, this first time I've been to Texas. September is my wife's birthday. I was like, "Hey, do you want to go to Texas? Because I'm going down for a conference anyway. I'm going to go a couple days early."
Yeah.
And so she's like, "Oh, I see what you're trying to do. Just get
about your
best bang for your buck."
Yeah.
And I wasn't planning on hunting. I was just planning on hanging out with these dudes, like my buddies. And so we pull up this 17 acres in Texas, and they're like, dude, exotics, you can hunt them any time of year.
Yeah.
We got shit.
Middle of the night.
It's a long, skinny strip.
Don't even need a tag for those.
Middle of the friggin' night.
It blows my mind, right?
You do need a tag.
You do need a tag now? Because I think back then
it's like $50 or something.
Yeah, it's cheap. Yeah.
So they have like a light out the back of this place, and they got corn feeders.
Yep.
And so my buddy's like, "Hey, we better go feed up the corn feeder right away." Well, he shakes this corn, and
like the dinner bell.
They show me this picture of this big ass axis buck. This thing's fucking huge, and all of a sudden, there's like 30 axis deer get up, and this big buck standing in the back. And Randall, whose dad owns the property, he's like, "Hey man, you gonna shoot that fucking thing? What are you doing?" I'm like, "What?" I'm looking around. I just showed up. I'm like, "What are you talking about?" He goes, 270's right on the couch. It's got shells in it. Just go put one in the chamber and shoot. So I run out there, all the axes take off. Well, I go sweat my ass off, see axis does that night. He's like, "You can shoot whatever you want. Shoot as many exotics as you want." And I'm holding out for that buck. I only got a day and a half, and just an awesome fucking deal.
It's a giant axis buck.
Yeah, dude. Those things are sketchy as fuck too.
Oh yeah, they're fucking.
It's a once in a lifetime animal. Like, this is a giant buck.
And I want to kill that thing. And they got another 100 acres, I think, down in Hunt, Texas, which is down the road. And he's like, "Anytime you want, dude, just come on down."
Yeah.
And I'm like, you guys know hunt it? And he goes, "We've already killed like
a lot of those. Those are the best eating motherfuckers.
They just go kill shit.
Those are the best fucking eating motherfuckers, I think.
I've never had one.
Oh,
I've just had ground.
Bro, we took some vets out with Black Rifle, with Crispy, Matt Best, the black owner of there. We were hunting their property because they're like fucking everywhere in the thing. And we set up blinds. I swear to God, dude, he's like, we got everybody tagged out, and he's like, "Go out there and shoot one." I said, "For real?" He's like, "Yeah, get out there." And I swear to God, dude, it looked like a circus coming to town with these axes, like a parade, dude. And I'm like, "Oh fuck, they're too far out to shoot, the bucks." But this doe came out, and like I said, I ain't got no shame in my game, dog. I'll shoot. I just want to shoot one, Literally, I'm the only one that shot one that day, that night, that evening. Smoked with my bow. Fucking boom, dead. Here they come with the fucking side-by-sides. Fucking, we throw that bitch on there. We fucking skinned it on his backyard tree, threw it from the skin from the tree to his grill, right in his patio, and we're fucking eating like kings, bro. And I was like, dude, this thing is the best. I wanted to move right then. I wanted to move to Texas.
I love Texas.
He was talking about Texas.
Yeah, dude, I love Texas.
Where was
I lived there.
The hill country up by what is that?
So we were north of San Antonio.
Yeah,
by
it's
Kerrville.
It's like an hour out of San Antonio.
That's
That
kind of
ain't
where we
45
are.
is it?
minute, huh?
That ain't Mesquite, Texas, is it?
No. God, you would tell me, and I'd
But
have
it's
to
like
think.
northwest kind
Yeah,
of.
it's
Hill country.
It's hill country and
Beautiful area.
gorgeous. I think he's fucking right next to George Strait's fucking house, next door neighbor to great George Strait house. Yeah, it was fucking crazy and one of the best fucking hunts I've ever been on. I shot a fucking doe, but it didn't matter to me. You know what I mean? Like it was such a cool experience, and that's why I say like it was a doe, but it could have been a fucking biggest buck like you shot, the biggest axis you ever shot. But to me, it was like just as big, and it was about the camaraderie and the people. I got to feed everybody that day. It was sick. It was awesome.
So where have you?
Is it
Where
Bourne?
was I going to go with this?
Bourne, Texas?
Boone or Bone?
Bourne?
Yeah,
Bourne?
yeah.
Bourne?
Yeah, something like that. Start with the
It's
B.
Boerne.
Yep.
Yeah, Bourne.
Yep.
So yeah,
Okay.
that's right. That's where.
Yep.
And yeah, cool. And I told my wife, I'm like, I could live there. And she snaps her, "Are you fucking serious?" And I'm like,
100%.
Yeah, I'm like, yeah,
Maybe not.
like try not to
There's
get wet,
a-
but it is so cool. I love it down there.
There was another spot that we went down there, and there was like a fucking water river. People would go river
On the Guadalupe.
I think that was it.
See, this is Kurt. So
They was floating?
Kurtville.
Huh?
They float the river.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Justin, I got videos of Justin with this big ass rope with all the kids fucking doing flips off
That's
it.
how I grew up. I was a
dude.
lake rat. I
We
lived
were
5 minutes from the
loving it,
lake.
dude. We just loved it.
So-
We had extra days because we all shot, and you go hunt on the golf course.
Oh,
You can shoot
God.
those motherfuckers on the golf course.
So
it was
yeah,
crazy.
that guy's property, that 17 acres, goes down the Guadalupe River, and they got like a swimming hole in there with like a concrete
Yeah.
diving deal, like the kids can jump off, and then it runs all the way up this ridge.
Yeah.
It's only 17.8. I'm like, this is the coolest fucking
Yeah,
spot.
that's
I've ever
awesome.
It was so fun, man. And that's the one I think I literally told my wife. I mean, honestly, God forbid me and my wife split up, but I'd probably move to Texas, bro.
I hadn't got to experience that side of Texas. I lived there for
You
over
need-
a
we
year.
need to go down there.
No,
Just go
No,
twice.
I'm with it.
Dude,
I'm
the hill
100% with
country,
it.
the hill country's different, huh?
Yeah,
Yeah,
It
I
is
haven't
so
experienced
crazy,
that,
dude. It's so crazy. But like at night when you're night hunting, like for hogs and shit, and you're in the these things, and they had like 2 seats in front of the Jeep, and you're fucking going, and there's fucking spider webs everywhere. You're like, oh fuck, get the fuck
God,
out!
the
hornets
spider
and
webs,
shit.
Dude,
That's the South. That's the thing. When you
yeah.
turkey hunt in the South, put to you
Yeah.
like this. First time I ever hunted in Florida, me and my buddy Linder were hunting Osceola turkeys, and I get there kind of midday. So I was like, dude, we got time to make a stand. Hopefully catch them on the way back to. I'm sitting right off to the side of this sand road. I keep itching. I'm like, what the fuck? And I sprayed my stuff with permethrin. Are y'all familiar with permethrin, right?
I am not.
Okay, so permethrin is this chemical. You spray it on your clothes and you let it dry, and it's supposed to make it tick repellent and bug repellent. So I'm like, I'm good. I got permethrin on. I'm straight.
Nope.
I looked down at my pant leg, particularly my right thigh. I counted over a dozen ticks that were crawling up my leg at one time as I'm sitting
I'd have
there.
lost
It
my
was
shit,
disgusting.
bro. I would have lost.
It
my
was
shit.
absolutely disgusting.
You get scared of that shit?
No,
Bro.
but when I left for a month,
you
for some
checked
reason,
it.
my ribs, they tagged me because it was coming up and just boo, 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 and I was just
Dude,
oh.
you remember we were hunting turkeys in Nebraska.
I've been banned in Nebraska
Kyle,
too.
We were in the shit. We didn't think anything of it. We get back in the truck. I'm like, oh fuck, man. He was driving. I'm in the back seat. I'm like, man, you got a fucking tick on your back and your neck. I grab it and we fucking throw it out the window. And I look over at Kyle. I'm like, kiddo, you got a fucking tick on your neck.
Another one.
And then all this inch like a
They're
motherfucker.
covered.
The car's fucking running. I jump out of the vehicle. But it was like a stand by me moment. When they're in the leech field
with the leeches.
with the leeches, we get butt naked, dude, pulling fucking dicks off us. Oh god, dude, I want to shave my head. I want to just fucking. Oh, it's so bad.
So I have some fucked up stories about when I was in college up there in Shadron.
Uh-huh.
We rented this house right across from campus. There's white carpet in the whole thing. Like everything's white.
Yeah.
Couch is white.
Yeah.
Everything's white. And I'd go turkey hunting, deer hunting. My roommates didn't do any of that shit. So they'd be like, oh, hey, what the hell, And I'd come home from turkey hunting. Well, I'd throw my clothes in the corner. And all of a sudden, dude, we'd see ticks rolling around the fucking living room.
Oh,
And they'd be like, hey, motherfucker, you get ticks or what? And I'm like, no, just trying to play it. No, what are you talking about?
Mhm.
So I'd pick up all these ticks, Dude, that pile of clothes had ticks in it.
Yep.
And just every day coming out in the living room, cruising around.
Oh my
So they get
God.
pissed off about that. And one year they're like, hey, did you kill any turkeys? And I'm like, no, I got something better for you. And I was laying there calling these turkeys, and I hear something move to my left, and I'm like laying in this tall grass, and I got some turkeys across this field, and I look, and there's a rattlesnake.
Oh my God.
And I'm like, I stand up real slow, and I just put the barrel of that right on the head of that rattlesnake. First, and I caught snakes when I was a kid. We didn't have rattlesnakes in Colorado. So I picked this thing up with, pinched the back of his head.
Yeah.
And I got it like this. I'm like, shit, what am I going to do with this thing? So I carry it all the way back to the truck, punching his head, like his head and his neck. And I got a grocery sack from Safeway. I throw that bitch in Safeway. What am I going to do with this thing now? And it's late. See the 1989 Jeep Cherokee. And I'm looking over at it. About 5 miles, and I'm like this the whole way looking at that seat, and I'm like, man, I hope this snake doesn't get out of the sack. But I know, I'm like, can't chew through the sack, fuck it. So I roomed with these football players. One was an offensive lineman, one was a linebacker, and this other dude. And they're like, hey, did you kill any turkeys? I'm like, dude, I got something better for you. God, check this shit out.
Oh, you
I'm
crazy
like, go grab a
motherfucker.
5-gallon bucket. They look at me, they're like, what? I said, go get a 5-gallon bucket. And we had like this awning. It was kind of like a carport, I guess, in Nebraska. It kind of had the covering. And so I got this 5-gallon bucket, and I opened up this sack and dropped that fucker in. Man, I've never seen 3 big guys jump back so fast.
I'd have been right there with him.
What the fuck is wrong with you?
You were crazy motherfucker.
And so the one dude, he's like, this is bullshit. You can't let this thing go in town. I'm like, I think it's kind of cool, man. Look at that thing. And so he goes and gets a pellet gun, shoots it.
Yeah.
And then we ate it that night. But it was
really,
it was a weird.
Dude, the Prairie Rattler. Where was this at?
Yeah. The fuck those things, dude.
I don't do no snakes, man.
No. Snakes, spiders.
I don't do no snakes.
I'm a bitch when it comes down
Something
to
about
it.
the way they move, dog.
Ugh.
I've been watching. I've been
Garter
geeking
snakes.
out. Like I love watching
garter
wild
snakes. I won't catch because they stink. They
Dude,
piss all
I
over.
just can't do them.
I like watching like wildlife stuff on IG. And I've been watching. He's got this king cobra named Rusty, super big IG guy. This thing like a boa. It is the most. Tomas, you're an animal guy. So they say that king cobras are the smartest snake in the animal kingdom, and he's holding this thing like a boa, letting him fucking crawl up his neck, crawl around his shoulders, and he just looks. The snake looks so damn happy. He never hood up. He just stayed unhooded, and he'd flick his tongue like a boa. He's petting him. He's like right on his neck, and he's like, "Oh, Rusty," and I'm like, "Oh,
hell no,
dog." This is a 14-foot king cobra, which they get bigger than 14 foot.
Oh, yeah.
hell no.
But this is the king cobra is correct me if I'm wrong, Tomas, the biggest venomous snake in the world, right?
Yeah, it's one of them.
I think it's the biggest venomous snake in the world.
Yeah, fucking stupid.
Yeah.
This is a death wish.
How'd
Bro,
you
the
hunt
thing
in New
was that
Mexico
big
then?
around.
Huh?
You've been to New Mexico, right?
Hell yeah.
Antelope hunting.
Hell yeah.
Never saw any rattlesnakes.
Nope. Thank God. Thank God they tried. They wanted to scare the fuck out of me. Thank God, dude.
For all
Saw a
you out
couple
there,
dead
Luke
ones,
gets scared.
No,
Antelope guts, snakes.
I told you, God, I got no shame in my game.
I know. I that's why I was like, I'm gonna help him out. I can't let him do
You did.
this.
Huh, you did. That's what I got thinking. I told you. I was like, dude, this motherfucker came right over and helped me out. Fucking made quick work of this thing. I was like, yeah, this is cool. And I was like, yeah, this is nice, Cody.
This motherfucker called me about 3 years ago. He's like, dog, I got a big mule deer down. Come help me. I'm like, fuck, where's that? He's like, my spot's cool. I'll be there in fucking 30 minutes. Boom, get up there. And he's fucking standing. He's like, dude, my back. It's all fucked up. I just need you to help me get him in the truck. I said, cool. I was like, you gonna gut him first? He's like, yeah. Starts gutting on him. This is the first time when I got to experience it. And I'm like, dude, give me the fucking knife, bro. I was like,
I do it.
I don't want to hear you
can't
fucking over
handle
here
if they're
gagging.
fresh, if they're
You know
old.
what's so crazy?
Where's that deer at, by the way? That's a good deer.
Hey, check this out. My wife was in labor. She had what do you call that? A hysterectomy? Or no, not hysterectomy.
It's not hysterectomy.
C-section.
Yeah,
C-section with
Hey, whoa.
yeah, my bad. C-section with Eva, and then she gave birth to regular one. Dude, with Marcus. C-section. She's on her guts.
I've seen
to the side of the
videos.
table.
Yeah.
And she's talking to me like how it's cold in there, like Do you see it? Does it have hair?
And
I'm over here like,
I've watched those videos.
but I don't know why. And I'm trying to keep my shit together. It was like some Walking of the Dead shit, some zombie shit. Like she should be, and I'm like, what the fuck am I witnessing here? I didn't sign up for this shit, bro.
Did y'all see that surgeon that gave himself his own vasectomy the other day?
No.
A surgeon gave himself his own.
What the fuck?
Oh, yeah.
Dude?
Hey, since we're talking about this, would you ever get? You don't have one yet.
No.
You?
Have I gotten snipped yet?
Yeah.
No.
Are you going to?
I think so.
I don't think I'm going to.
But I'm like on the fence. So here's why. Here's why. I had a buddy in Nebraska that got it done. Still got.
I've heard the stories. Well,
here's my situation. Is I don't think I'd ever get it done because you see when you get a dog neutered, the motherfuckers get fat and lazy and fucking layer.
Yeah.
That's
Not
true.
true.
Gonna be me.
Yeah, no, that's true.
That's true.
I'm serious.
No,
That's what I'm like.
That's true.
Dude, I got so much test in me right now. They say it makes me infertile. So I'm taking my chance on it. My balls are gone right now. I'm all steak potatoes anymore, dog. It's fucking it's done. It's like fucking true, dog. They have fucking swiveled up like fucking. It's nuts. It's weird how that whole thing works, but it's like literally like I'm like, oh, fucking my 5-year-old son got bigger nuts than me, dog.
That's pretty good.
Well, shit, Cody. What's your dream hunt, Cody?
What's that?
What's your dream hunt?
That's a good question.
Sheep?
What sheep? Rocky or what?
Any sheep.
Any sheep? You like
I
that
don't know.
sheep?
I wouldn't
Shoot
like
for
a
the stars,
doll.
man. A stone
I
or
wouldn't
Marco
I wouldn't
Polo
do
or
a
what?
doll. I'd do a stone. I wouldn't do a Marco Polo. It's just too commercialized.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like the dolls, yeah, you can do them for 15, 20, 25 grand.
15, you're going to have to look long and hard.
Which is still fucking pricey.
Yeah.
But it's like, I'd like to kill desert or a big, like a Rocky Mountain bighorn. That's after that sheep hunt, dude, that'll turn you on like that. Quick.
Yeah, I went on one go hunt with Snyder and that was epic, dude. It was just cool as fuck, dude. I caught some of the best pictures for him for his thing, and fuck, that was just priceless to me. But just being around it and doing it, like that was cool. I don't know if it's gonna be like my, dream hunt to do that. Like my dream hunt is like something I can actually come back and like everybody talks about like how good that fucking meat was.
Yeah, but you ever eaten sheep?
Dude, no, I haven't. So I can't say that. But I smelled goat and
we ate sheep.
It's totally different. It's totally different.
Sheep is better, huh?
Did you like it?
Honestly, the piece that I had, it wasn't like off-putting. It wasn't bad, but it wasn't as good as I thought. What I will say is the texture was really good. Like it was, Seth cooked it. Here's the deal. We come off the mountain and my buddy's got a boat grill in his truck. So we're like, fucking, let's fire this bitch up. We just packed the sheep off.
Yeah, you're hungry.
Let's
too.
eat some.
Yeah.
So we took a piece of tenderloin and we're all bloody and nasty. And the sheep, it smells like a fucking barnyard. I mean, it smells like sheep, right? So we're all gross and pick up the piece of tenderloin, bloody ass hands. There's hair all over. We slap it on the fucking grill. What did we put? Pepper on it, maybe. Like there's hair on it, like burning on the.
All about it, bro.
It's like, hey man, it was hard working for this fucking. This is the coolest experience. Like,
sure,
when like the older you get, you might not have. Me, sheep hunting that first time I do this shit, and I'm like, all right, every opportunity I can do, I don't care if somebody else wants help, I'm gonna help them out because it was just an experience, and because most people in their lives never be able to hunt sheep.
And that's why I rolled my ass out of the tent and packed my shit up and I headed over that way because I was like, when's the next hunting sheep? I'm not going to kill it, but I'm going to be right there, and it's like, when's the next time I'm going to get to do this? So I packed my shit up and I hauled off the mountain, drove to another mountain and climbed up that mountain. And the next day, after about 7 shots, we got us around.
The country you see sheep hunting.
How about that giant moose we fucking saw? Remember that giant, buddy? A
sheep hunt.
Giant,
really
giant moose.
That's what I'm saying. That like it's all about the experience and the camaraderie and everything. Like that's, like I said, like I shot at that Axis doe, and we just all gathered around the grill and just fucking here we go. Everybody ate it, and like to me, that is more of a dream hunt for me. Like, and I say, I think I would really like to shoot a brown bear, but that's I'm not gonna fucking eat on that, but like I said, like the moose, Alaska moose, a big old fucking motherfucking monster would be something like that. I don't know. I'm pretty fucking easy. The way that I'm going, I should be just happy on an elk.
But yeah, but we look around, and you and I are 44. And how old are you?
36 this year.
Young feller.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like, you get mid 40s.
Age. Yeah.
It's like, man, how many more years of this shit? Yeah, you got guys that are 82. They can still do it, but you're hunting antelope out of a truck. And you want to pretend like you got
all
10
the time
more
in the
sheep
world.
years in you, but
realistically,
really,
yeah,
that's a dream.
Yep.
I mean, if I'm 55 and I can be at 12,000 feet again and really kicking ass, that's
epic
wishful
right there,
thinking.
yeah, very true, very true.
And if I can do it, awesome.
Yep.
And that's why I fuck with you, because it's like you said, you're 44 years old, but motherfucker, we're in there hunting with you is like hunting. I mean, I know guys that are my age that don't do what you do in the woods, right? So it's like, all right, this guy's, he's been doing it a lot longer than I have. And it's like, he's 44 years old and he's still willing to put in the fucking effort every day and hurt like I fucking hurt every day and climb the mountain. And he knows we may or may not fucking shoot a shot that day, right? And I just like to fucking hunt. And I'm going to go out there every fucking day and I'm going to fucking try. You know what I mean? Now, I have all intentions of killing with every tag I have, but I know it might not happen.
Yep. And it's realistic because you've hunted enough to know that. Yeah. I don't know. It's just out there, and like one thing, he likes to go out solo and be his own guy. But me, I like to share shit with my friends. You know what I mean? Like a buddy of mine, just whether we're successful or not, like that. It's the memories that I have. And
well, see, I agree with that. Like, I love that too, but I find it hard to find people that's willing to do what the fuck I do. He'll fucking do it. You know what I mean?
That's why I said when you get a good one. Yeah.
There's nothing worse than when you get somebody and it's like, I want to go hunting with you, and you get halfway in and they're like, they keep asking, how much farther? I hate that fucking question.
Yeah.
How much farther? How much farther? Are we almost there? It's like, do you want me to lie to you and say it's right over the ridge? Like, what do you want to hear me say?
That's what my buddy Rich would do to me. Like the first time I came out here and I said, he had an elk tag. He goes, Luke, you want to go elk hunting with me? And I've never been elk hunting. Right. I kept my Nebraska residency. So I didn't want to pay deer, right?
Because $36.
Yeah. You know what I mean? I want to pay $200 some bucks for it. So because I didn't know anything about elk hunting out here. Never know whatever. He finally took me. We got out the truck, and he fucking fired up the old tube and fucking bugle here, big dude. Right then I was like, holy shit, this is awesome, dude. I'm in. Changed my residency, fucking said I'm dude. He showed me the ropes, kind of like, the do's and don'ts. And when I fucking seen it laying on the ground and him doing it, I was like, dude, this is the coolest fucking thing ever. I mean, it's just, even when you don't, like, I don't think we shot one until like the third day. But every morning, you're tired of getting up and hiking, but every morning when you hear that bugle, you're like, oh fuck, this is gonna be fucking awesome, bro.
It's literally turkey hunting on crack, right? When you blow that locator in the morning when you're turkey hunting,
so crazy.
You're like, oh sweet. You blow the bugle in the morning. And you hear, it's like, here we go. It's here we go.
This is no bullshit. So Rich, he's an old Marine, one of my buddy's dads. Like I fuck with him all the time. We're like best friends. He's like, I bet he's like 60 some years old now. But he still gets in the woods and he does it all, and he's this awesome dude. And I go, Rich, I'm gonna put in for a over the counter, archery tag. Will you take me? Oh, absolutely, let's go. Because he hunts muzzleloader, so he goes, let's just go at this time, and we'll go a few days before my tag opens, and we go, and we're the last day before muzzleloader, and I think we hunted 4 days hard. And he goes, and I fucking look at him the next morning, and I said, because he lived, so we stayed at his house, and we just drove, to the spots. And I said, Rich, I ain't gonna lie to you. You get me a shot at a fucking elk today, I'll take a nice fucking warm load in the mouth from me. He goes, what? He goes, what?
Yeah.
Look at me like, what? We go out.
Okay.
Send him the first medal. He goes, I need you to sit up in those little calls in a bull fucking, 5x5.
And Rich is back there like this.
Rich is back.
He's unzipping his pants. He's undoing that belt.
Hey,
Come on, big boy.
This motherfucker kid got hung up at like 70 yards, right? And I was like, dude, I'm good. I know I'm good. And then he started feeding a little closer. It was like 50 some. I was like, oh, fuck, it's getting better, closer. He got up to like 45 yards and I fucking smoked it, right? And I was like, fuck yeah. I was like, oh, I shot it back, right? I shot it a little far back. And he comes over to me, he's fucking all happy. He's all fucking stoked. And dude, I'm like, just fucking shaking. Like,
I love that
believe
moment right after the shot.
And I said, Joe Rich, he goes, you shoot it good? And I was like, yeah, but I think I shot it back. He goes, yeah, I saw that. I think it's because you heard my zipper.
You heard me pulling my britches down.
Never forget that moment in my life, bro.
Dude, that moment after the shot is so fucking cool.
It's the best, right? Like, but that's what I'm saying. Like, you can't have stories like that when you're by yourself. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Or you can, but you never.
It ain't the same. It ain't the same. It's cool. Like, I think the badassery level, if you will, the bar is raised when you're by yourself. But first thing I think of, because he can tell you this, I don't hunt with many people, and him and Chris are the only people I've been with and killed a big game animal out west since I've been out here, and I've dropped some fucking bodies. Point is, I'm usually by myself. But first thing I think when I walk up on there, I'm like, well, to be frank with you, I'm like, I wish somebody was here to take some better pictures than I'm about to fucking get.
Yeah, and that's
you know what I mean?
Somebody enjoy it with.
Yeah, exactly. But no, that moment after the hunt, like for me, when I take clients out, like I always try to be very even kill because I like to be that way. But after the shot, I get fired up, man, because I love.
But even that, with that, like when somebody shoots something, that's like fight or flight. It's like, okay, is this fucking thing dead? Because as a guide, you're thinking, is this bastard dead or is he still alive? It better be dead.
Yep.
Because it's still alive. I got a lot of work cut out. So that's what triggers that. And it's boom. Oh shit.
Yeah,
Did he miss?
Yep.
Did he hit it? Did he hit it good? Is it dead? Are you going to track that animal? So it's kind of like a lot of shit plays out in your head within that. And like I was telling Josh earlier, it's kind of like, yeah, everything's about fucking around.
Yep.
Until
it's game time.
That 5 or 10 minutes of the whole hunt. It might be a 5-day deal. And you get 5 or 10 minutes of stress.
Yeah.
And when it's stress, that time goes by so slow.
Slow as fuck. Yeah.
Until you see that thing dump over and you're like,
oh, all right, he did.
All right, yeah, he's laying it good.
He smokes, right?
Good.
Yeah. But that, there's like that whole time, like even like, that time to fuck around, have fun, and then there's time to get busy, right? And I think that's like anything we do. Like, we're in fight camp. We have plenty of time. Like we're getting filmed now, make a series out of this, and for people to watch, and they're like, you get the internet trolls like, dude, there's a lot of play. Oh yeah, we're trying to entertain you at the same time.
Just feel blessed to be able to watch this footage.
Yeah, and you're grinding it out.
I'm like, when it's time to be serious, you think we're showing our game plan on our film so our opponent can see us.
And you're grinding. If you're grinding shit out, in what you are, you're not going to be like, here's us going, hey, fuck, fuck you, man, I hate you.
Yeah.
You're not going to show
There's a time
that.
and a place for everything, you know what I mean? And like, that's one thing I say, but even it's no different than hunting. Like there's, we have fun doing it. That's why guys like to do it, being out there. And when it's time to fucking, oh shit, game time, that's when everything fucking
laser focus.
Yeah.
Well, I think the reason being is I think there's a lot more suffering than there is good on a backcountry hunt like the stuff we do, right? So it's like, you got to fucking, what would you say? Walk that line of like being comfortable, being uncomfortable.
Keep
because
morale up.
Dude, there's a lot more walking than there is killing. Correct me if I'm wrong. You do a lot more walking than you do killing.
And then when you kill, the real work starts.
There it is.
You know what I mean? So like, it's not, people, the non-hunters thinks it's just us going out there
walking around with a Tommy gun and just spraying into a herd of freaking out
at all. And I don't know. It's just, to me, hunting will always be like my joy of life, dude. It really is. It's like that's what it's like my therapy, you know, like even if I'm out here shooting my bow out here, that's my therapy, you know. And then, you know, I don't know. That's why you like it so much and you like it.
And gives you a singular focus, man. Because when you go out there and your sole purpose in life is to kill an elk or a deer, like that's it.
It's
like
but
that's
but let's really get real. It's fun.
It's fun.
Oh, if it wasn't, I sure as fuck wouldn't do it.
Putting yourself there's a wrestler and you're a football player. You're putting yourself through stress.
Oh, dog.
That 95% of the time to get 5% satisfaction. And same thing with hunting.
Yep.
It's like, yeah, I've hunted all my life. I've hunted a lot more days that I didn't kill shit that I could have. And now it's kind of reversed. I'm like, I like the suck. I like you always hear embrace the suck.
Yeah.
Well, I embrace it. I love it.
Yeah.
And it's not about pulling that trigger anymore. And I've had a lot of talks with Josh about, you know, hey, we need to go kill shit. When, you know, and a lot of my buddies are like, why don't you focus on killing shit? And I'm like, I can kill shit if I want to any day of the week. It's actually enjoying getting a workout,
the
in,
journey,
hanging out, just taking it all in, knowing you can still do it. And when I talk to Jim, I'm like, man, I'm just happy I can still do it.
Yep.
Like, what you
That's
mean
for
you can
real.
still fucking
No,
do
it's
it?
true
And I'm like,
because
a lot of
you
dudes
get
my
it.
age
You get
can't
that. You
do
get
that
it. Yeah,
shit.
you get it. You totally get the big picture. And I think that's what a lot of people need to do is like, yeah, everybody loves killing shit, but sometimes the story's better when you don't kill one. You know what I mean? I have, especially me, like about the fucking story that I tell that I can come back to, you know, or the picture, you know, that I've taken out there. Like, dude, there's been so many times no way in hell would this Nebraska boy ever think I'd be out here on the fucking top of the fucking summit and fucking see the scape and be able to take a picture, you know.
You think of old Southeast Tennessee boy feel, dog.
You know what I mean? Like, to me, that's where it's at. Like, it just it's priceless to me. Like, that's just getting out there, you know. I can do it. And I always bumped heads with my wife about this. You know, it's like my job, you know. It literally is my job. She goes, oh, you're going on vacation again, you know. And at one time, I got really pissed off about it because I'm like, babe, this is my job. I get paid to do this, you know. This is what I do. And she's like, you know, roll her eyes, you know. And then now that I'm older a little bit, yeah, it is my vacation
because you enjoy it.
I fucking do it, and I set myself up to do something like this. You know what I mean? And that's where I look at it. I was like, fuck it. You don't like doing what you do, then change it. Yeah, plain and simple. Like I set myself up to do something I want to do for the rest of my life, and hate it or not, but I'm doing it right now.
And you're happy. Yeah, I look at like, and I wasn't gonna bring this up, but this year I got a chance to hunt an elk tag that I didn't draw, like, or I didn't regularly, you know, hunting public land. We still hunted public land this year. It took me 8 years to draw this tag, and I knew I set this up, and I had a lot of conversation with Josh. I was like, man, I drew this tag, and it's in December, and my wife, her brother was getting married right in the middle of the season.
Oh wow!
So I was like, all right, and this is not a wedding that was in Denver.
Yeah,
this was in Germany.
Okay.
So I knew, I'm like, shit, I got to put 5 days into her brother's wedding.
Yep.
And season is 11 days long. And this took me 8 years to draw this thing. So the way I'm looking at it is, this thing took a lot of work. Sitting there going, I know I'm not going to draw it. No, I'm not going to draw it. I know I'm not going to draw it. And then finally, I put in and drew this fucking tag. And then all of a sudden, her brother is going to get married right in the middle of the season. So to kind of keep everybody happy, I'm like, you know, and I bounce the ideas off buddies of mine, and they're like, don't go to the wedding.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm not doing that. Because that wouldn't,
it wouldn't be good.
Situation.
Yeah, it wouldn't be a good situation.
And
You know that. It's wise.
Yeah, and so I called up my buddy Seth, the guy I hunted with. We're the same tag in January. Don't worry, we'll get it done one day. So we go up. This is like 2 weeks before season. We go up, we go scouting, and I would kill that bull. We're good. Season comes, drive up there in the morning, go up there, same spot where I saw 22 bulls a couple weeks before. Nothing. Dude, I got Saturday, Sunday, Monday, taking time because I got to go to a wedding on Tuesday. So I'm stressed out. We go to this little private access, it's 40 acres. And the guy, he's showing us around. You're trying to be courteous. You're like, okay, hey man, thanks.
I got on next, bud. Thanks for the access. You don't gotta show me nothing.
And he's like, here's my 4-wheeler, and here's the water, and here's how this, because it's all off the grid shit. And I'm like, thanks, man. And I'm planning on just being nice to the guy and just hanging out.
Yeah.
And he goes, well, you guys better get going if you're gonna start hunting this afternoon. And I'm like, 2:00 in the afternoon. I'm like, all right, what do you think, Seth? He's like, dude, let's get the hell out of here. So we drive out of his property onto public on these 4-wheelers, which I've never hunted. Mark my words, never hunted on 4-wheeler before, because it's always get out of the truck and hike your ass off.
Yeah.
So we cruise around, learn the lay of the land. We're driving back towards the house. We get about 3 miles from the house, and Seth looks over and he goes, "Shit, dude, there's a bull. There's a bull right there." And I'm like, "Horse shit. We're just dicking around." And I'm like, "Bullshit." And he goes, "No, there's a bull laying there on top of that rock." And I look up, naked eye, and I'm like, "Holy shit, there is a bull there." So I get my binocs out and I'm looking, and I'm glassing this thing, and there's 3 bulls. There's 2 raghorns and a bigger bull in the middle. And so Seth goes, "Well, I think," I'm like, "What do you think he'll go?" He goes, "I think he'll go 320 plus." And I'm like, "Dude, I only got another day and a half. We're just going to get this done. I don't care." And so he goes, "Are you really going to shoot that?" And I'm like, "What's the yardage?" He goes, 633. And I'm like, "Whatever. I'm going to shoot it from here." And he goes, "You serious?" I'm like, "Yeah, dude." It was weird. I was like, "Yeah, no problem. I don't shoot long range normally." And so we get down, I lay down, and he goes, "You better take a look at this bull, because I'm not going to make a call that you don't want to do something." It took you a long time to draw this tag. And I look up there, and I glass this bull, and he turns his head once. I'm like, fucking, I'm shooting that thing. He's bigger than 320. That's all I know. And all of a sudden he goes, "You're going to shoot it from right here. You don't want to get closer." I'm like, "Fuck that, dude." Smoke this thing. He runs 10 yards, and I dump him. And I'm thinking to myself, I didn't get a real good look at this bull, but I know he's just
bigger than 320.
Huge. He's just huge. And I'm like, this motherfucker's big. And so Seth's in better shape than me. We're walking up this ridge, and he goes, "Dude, what the fuck?" And I'm like, and like I said before, I'm like, this dude, he's my 180, and I'm the other half. And so he's like, "What the fuck, man?" I'm like, "Well, how big is he?" He goes, "Oh, you're going to be real happy with this one." We get up there, and I'm like, holy fuck. Biggest elk I've ever seen.
It's a freaking giant.
The one you showed me the picture.
And I totally lucked out.
Yeah.
But now it's kind of like monkeys off the back, man.
Yeah.
Well, I might have been here that you killed. Was I here that night? I think I was here the night you killed.
And honestly, like, sometimes you'd rather be lucky than good. Sometimes,
Hey, and you know what? 633 yards.
Yeah,
I'm here to tell you, I'm not a long range shooter. But at that moment, I was like, I'm just going to do it. And it did it. And if it happened again, different situation, I might be like, nope.
Yeah. I know. It's weird, right? It's so weird. I know. It's crazy. It's that. And that's what actually, like, I'm not in long range shooting, but like when you shoot something far like that, it's, I like bow hunting because it's close, right? But like, dude, for some reason, man,
I've never took a super long rifle shot like that.
It's a skill shot. It's a skill deal. And, like you got to have a little luck. And like today you have good scopes and, range finders and everything. But like, dude, you hear what I shot my antelope at?
I've heard some stories. I didn't hear the real yardage.
1032.
Holy fuck.
He dumped it in his truck on video.
Where'd you hit it?
Huh? Boom.
Facing you?
No. He was walking this way, like toward you're the shooter, and I shot him right on, like right neck base area, just dropped him.
But you whacked him.
Whacked him good because, we were trying to play, I was leading him, a whole antelope ahead of him, at that range. And dude, realistically, that bullet was so high at that point.
Oh yeah,
it arced, and you could see the vapor trail in the video, dude. And it's sick. I'll have to show it to you.
So with your windage, did you like lead him or did you dial the?
No, I had to lead him.
You led him.
We led him that big. Lorenzo from Go Hunt and Ryan, they were like, dude. I was like, man, should I do half the size? They're like, I think you need to do bigger, more than that. Because I was proned out. I was perfect, no wind early in the morning. And I was like, fuck it, I missed it fucking 197 yards. That makes the fucking story. You know what I mean? But we were running and gunning, and I was shooting off the backpack, and
so you used to ask me, Dave, are you a good shot? And I'd say, I'm a shitty shot, but I'll put enough lead in the air to fucking hit something.
Dude.
And it's true.
It's so true.
If you start shooting at something, dude, if I shoot, it's like when you shoot something once, like that's a fucking hell of a shot.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
I know.
it's like out of this world.
It's
Really.
100%.
So it's like there is a little bit of luck.
100%.
And when people are like, "Oh, well, you should get," you hear all the time, "Oh, you should get closer." Hey, you know what? Fuck you. Go shoot 7,032. And then tell me, come back and say I could do it.
Yeah.
Because they probably could.
No, it's facts. And today's gun, this 6 hour literally made this gun for us. It's a fucking PRC,
6.5?
No, it was a 7 mil.
Oh, yeah.
And it's literally, when we got to camp, we were shooting 1,000 yards. I was hitting rocks.
Have you shot the Fury yet?
No, I haven't shot that one yet.
But they made the
277.
277.
Yeah, they just came out. So that's why I want to go. They should have it at the show. I bet. But it's where I'm like, I can say I knocked that one off my fucking shoulder.
Can't, yeah.
You know what I mean?
You know how many more people can say?
Yeah, but it was cool. I mean, was it a giant elk? No, not like New Mexico. It was
Doesn't
big,
matter.
But it was like more like everybody was there. It was on film. I'm gonna have that forever. They're making a film out of it. Go Hunt's making a film, and my kids get to watch that forever.
And who can claim 1,000-yard shot?
Right,
dog.
Right, real
Not
shit.
me.
No, I know it.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Like, I can claim a
99-yard shot.
A little 99-yard.
But anyways, goddamn boys, we can talk.
You already know it.
Oh man, Cody, you gotta come back more often.
I would like to.
We got more shots, more times. We'll definitely do a hunt this year. I'll do it.
He said that. You heard him say that.
I'll do it.
Don't edit that
Spring
out.
Bear, Wyoming.
Yeah, man. I just well, I guess we don't really know what you draw this year yet, but right now all I have is turkey.
It's like the tags you have right now.
Right now, turkey, spring turkey.
Gosh, a little bit about it. We might do that.
Yeah. I'm down.
It'd be a deer camp. It might be a more fuck around. Than,
now you speak. I'm 1,000% in on that.
Oh, we get down now.
Yeah. I mean,
that's fun. That's cool.
We didn't even talk about going into that ridge about 4 damn miles and camping in there and having a good old time and not seeing shit. We saw. Remember that? Fucking, we have a good
Welcome
old time.
to my life.
We have a good old time.
So here's how I hunt, Luke. When we go backpack hunting, I'll bring some tequila and whatever electrolytes you got.
An old
A
speaker.
speaker and some other shit.
Yeah.
When people walk by our camp, they're like,
You crazy
what's going
motherfucker.
on? And they're usually some
dog.
yuppies hiking like on a backpack trip. Like, what these dudes doing back in there? We're having a good time.
Having a hell of a time.
Yep. The banjo's playing.
What is that? What they say on delivery? Squeal like a pig, boy. You got a pretty mouth. You got a pretty mouth, boy.
Oh, fuck. Anyways, do you have any social media or anything, Cody?
I do not.
He's
No,
not allowed to
he's
have
not
his own.
allowed, yeah.
He's not allowed to have
All
his
right.
own.
Well, oh, stop.
What?
Let the man
It's
be.
what it is. It's just what it is.
Private life.
I can't even send him
maybe
no
someday.
funny shit. I can't even send him no
You can
good
send me
shit on
funny
IG.
shit.
I know you.
No,
Hey,
it gets
honestly-
parental. He's got the parental locks on.
But honestly, it's keeps your mind out of the gutter. because, dude, I be on that motherfucker, and I'm like, the devil's on my side.
No, social media got shut down right
Yeah.
away when we got together. So
Yeah, that's good.
there you go.
Yeah, I don't blame you. I ain't mad at you, dog. It's
I ain't
smart.
either.
I'm seriously, I kind of envy you, but sometimes I just don't understand. I get on social media sometimes and like titties be popping out, girls be naked, and then I'll be like, they let that shit fucking go, and then I fucking have a gun with a picture with this pistol, nothing, fully clothed, winter clothes.
Yeah, but that's getting better, right?
And, well, I don't know.
That's what they say.
Well, it's not yet. You know what I mean? It's just so fucking corrupt still. I don't know, but we'll see. But anyways, dog, thank you for coming out here.
Hey, thank you for
This
having
is
me.
fucking-
Appreciate it.
3-hour podcast, Walker.
Mm-hmm.
Nice to finally
Fucking talking motherfuckers.
sit with you.
Uh-huh.
All right, well,
We
you know
didn't
what
even
I'm
get
saying?
through half the story.
I know.
bro.
That's
We
why I
didn't get
said.
through half
Oh, I
of
can
it.
tell. I just honestly, man, I'm glad that you came down here. I'm glad I got to meet you, and I look forward to many more.
Hey, glad to meet you guys and be part of this. Fun.
Mm-hmm.
All right, should we go have a drink at the bar?
I wouldn't be mad at that.
Yes, sir.
All right, later.
We out.
Oh.